Hello, my lovelies. Elsie here to do your sneak peek for this week. How you doing? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. If you are somebody who's never been here before, I do this reading for the entire zodiac. I do it once a week. It's usually between Monday or Wednesday that I get it done. It's a little bit later this week. Gosh, this full moon is just kicking my ass, y'all. How about you? I'm a Taurus sun, and this full moon that's coming up tomorrow, you'll probably get this early in the morning on the full moon, day of the full moon, November the 5th. It is 3 or 4 days leading up to this. So since about Halloween night, it has been really kicking my ass in terms of energies and release, because this particular one is a full moon and it is the closest, it is the brightest, and it is a beaver moon, right? So this one is in Taurus, and it is all about your money, your values, your body. It's about the simple comforts of life, and what is really quality for you, collective? What is really the quality thing you want to keep? And it's time for you to ditch the things that are draining you. What is really costing you too much to maintain? Energy, time, effort, money, whatever it is. What's costing you too much to maintain? It's time to release whatever doesn't make sense, my friends. And that's what Taurus is asking you to do in this full moon. I am here with 12 decks to my left. I'm going to read a little bit from each of these decks for each of the zodiac signs, and I will mark everything down below in the description so you have the ability to be able to scroll this video to see what's going on. And if you're viewing on a device that doesn't allow you to see the chapters, please look in the description. And you will find your timings there. Thank you for those of you who always post your timings that you think are suitable for you. But I am just going to remove those comments. I put in my timings for a reason. There's things I want you to hear and see in those readings. You can just fast forward if that doesn't suit you. So thank you so much for your help, but it's not required. I put in those timings for a reason. And so the only other thing I need to tell you is about private reads. So if you're interested in private reads are open. Please take a look at the pinned comment. The link to Hipsy is where you need to be to see my pricing, to see how long it'll take you to get your reading back, and whether you want a pre-recorded reading or a live reading. All right, let's get it done. Let's start. Aries, let's get her done. My fire family, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's find out what's going on for you over this full moon energy. Tell me about Aries. Tell me about Aries. The next 7 days. Whenever you get this, today, tomorrow, next year. I happen to be throwing these cards on just before the full moon energies show up here. Tell me about Aries. What can Aries expect over the next 7 days? I've got the Empress energy. Got the Two of Pentacles. Got the Eight of Cups. And we've got the Seven of Cups. Look, I feel like this is, I'm reading for a whole collective, so I'm not just giving you one point of view, right? I'm going to give you many points of view. And so this is what I feel. You could be the Empress. You don't have to be a Taurus or a Libra to be the Empress. It's just indication of Venusian signs. And if you are somebody who is an Empress, somebody who has all the wisdom of all the queens, someone who is sovereign, who does their own thing, someone who doesn't really need anything or anyone, I feel like you're about to make a decision about exiting something here, about pulling away or detaching from something that's become very clouded or confusing for you. That's what it feels like. So there is some sort of a decision. I don't think you've made the decision yet. I feel like the Two of Pentacles tells me it's up in the air and you're trying to get sort of a balanced 3D look at whatever's going on. But I feel like with the Eight of Cups here, it tells me that you've been settling for something that I don't feel like you want to settle anymore. It feels like somebody here is realizing their worth, or you're somebody who always knew your worth, but sometimes it can get a little cloudy, right? Sometimes it can get a bit cloudy, and I think it's time for you to make a decision about what you're doing with your time, your efforts, your energy, your money, right? And time to ditch what drains you, as I was saying at the very beginning of this, right? If you didn't see the beginning of the video, I was talking about that. Keep what's quality and what is not. So I feel like that's what you're doing here. If you are somebody on the outside looking in, you might be a cross-watcher who's watching, and maybe you're checking in on somebody who is in the Empress energy. If this person is not chasing you, that is why. Whether they are a feminine or a masculine Empress, this person is not chasing you because they know their worth. And this person prefers to be prefers to be pursued. And so if you're interested in this person, I feel like you're about to make a decision here. Am I settling? Am I not? It's confusing. Do you know for sure if this person is interested or not? I think that's what the Eight of Cups is. Do I just disconnect over the confusion, or do I take the time to make a decision about what I want to do? Tell me about the Empress, please. I think that the Empress is making a decision to pull away from something, someone, a situation here. Yeah, in order to get some balance. So Aries, I think I'm talking about you. I'm going to look at this reading from your point of view here, because I'm not really here to read for the cross-watcher. So I feel like you are in, and even if you're not an Empress, I would say that the Empress is representing you having enough abundance and stability on your own that you really don't need anything in your life. So I don't feel like you're really looking for anything to stabilize you. I think you have everything that you need. And I feel like you are about to do the Irish exit. I'm just going to say, if you're Irish, you know what I mean. I am. And I feel like somebody here is knowing when to pull away or pull back. And I feel like something here has become emotionally overwhelming or confusing for you. And you need to create some equilibrium. You need to create some harmony in your life here. Because I feel like you've been backing away and looking over the details of something, looking at the analytics of something here, and moving slow toward the door. But I think ultimately you might decide to just detach, make a decision to just detach from something that's in the 3D. So this is not a thought process. This is not a feeling. This is literally heading for the door. I'm leaving. This is not for me. It's not for me anymore. Tell me more about this. We've got the Queen of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you are making a bold move and you don't really care who sees it. The Queen of Wands is independent and is somebody who's been through the fire before. So look, you're not a person that really cares what the people around you are thinking as you head for the door. I don't think you really care about that. I feel like you're just going to go ahead and make a bold move. We've got the Devil energy here. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles. I really feel like you've been thinking about pulling away from this particular job, relationship, a group of people, right? It could be, we've got the Seven Cups here. It feels like you've been thinking about pulling away for a bit. I feel like the Queen of Wands sitting here atop the horse is telling me, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, and I've been thinking about this for a while. I feel like you're in some sort of a situation, whatever it is. It might be a relationship, it might be a job, it could be a group of people, and it's become overwhelmingly either codependent or toxic. It feels like people aren't really respecting your station. I'm going to say, Aries, whether you're the feminine or the masculine, I feel like people are not seeing your worth. Maybe that's become a little cloudy or some sort of line has become blurred, but I feel like with the Nine of Pentacles here that you've accomplished a lot. I feel like you have accomplished a lot and you work a lot, but I feel like you see your worth, but I feel like people are taking your energy for granted or what you bring to the job. Like maybe the job is taking you for granted, like not paying your worth. We do have the Hierophant energy here. Also, I think that somebody here is calling you out on your spiritual practices. I want to say that I feel like you are somebody who is quite spiritual. You are someone who is a spiritual teacher. But this is a very lonely path, I'm going to say, Aries. It's a very lonely path, and I feel like you are a person who always strives to do the right thing, whether you have to do it on your own or not. And it feels like there's an opportunity to break away from something that has blurred the lines of your worth. Somebody here is not taking you as seriously as you would like them to, and I feel like it's time for you to make a decision about what you're going to do. But listen, the Hierophant is telling me that if you decide to walk away from the job, the relationship, or the group of people, maybe it's a family situation, that you're not going back. Because the Hierophant makes a decision once. That's Taurus energy. Taurus energy is asking you to release something. And so I feel like that's exactly what's going on here. You're releasing something that no longer serves you, that might be toxic or codependent, or something that I feel like you have to go out on your own. It's time for you to build something by yourself, whether that's your reputation or your ability to just do something on your own. I feel like somebody here might be trying to smudge your name behind the scenes. I'm just going to say with the Nine of Pentacles and the Devil, it feels like, and the Queen of Wands, it almost feels like somebody who is talking behind your back and saying, Aries thinks they're all that. And, they think they know it all, right? The Hierophant is here. And I feel like it's time for you to depart something here. So I feel like you might be just pulling away or thinking about that in the next 7 days, thinking about whether you want to create balance by heading for the door or what. Tell me what the outcome is for Aries. Got the Hanged Man. I don't think you're doing it right away. I'm going to say that you're a person, if you are in this Empress energy, that you have all the wisdom of the queens. And so you have a lot of wisdom, and you know that making a quick, bold move isn't something that will pay off in the long run. I feel like you're going slow, even though you want to go quickly. I feel like you're going slow with the Knight of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man is telling me I need to get perspective first here. I need to look at the situation and figure out what I do need to sacrifice, because this full moon is asking you to ditch whatever's draining you, right? We've got the Five of Pentacles. Look, I feel like what you're doing here, hanging in the Hanged Man energy, taking a pause and a perspective here, it's like, if I do sacrifice this, I am going to be alone. I'm not going to have a group of people. I'm not going to have a job. I'm going to feel like I'm on the outside looking in. Also, it could impact you financially, but I feel like this is a really big decision here. You might want to pursue something new, or you might be in this energy of the King of Wands because you have wisdom, because you always go and get what you want. This is Aries energy, right? Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, because we're in a reading that is a general reading. So I feel like that you feel you have enough information, enough fire, enough chutzpah to carry you. I'm going to say that you've been on your own before. You've pulled away from a group or something that didn't suit you before. And I think that you're thinking about doing that again. What's around the corner for Aries? Why can I not shuffle today? What's around the corner for Aries, please? We've got the Seven of Wands. Yeah, I think you're ready to... I just heard Charlie say to show them who's boss. Now, I don't think that you're being bossy. That's not what I'm getting here. I think the Seven of Wands, when I look at this, tells me, you know what, you guys underestimated me. You underestimated me, and you don't understand that when it comes down to it, if you're going to put pressure on me, I will protect myself. I will stand up for myself, and I'm going to say whatever it is that I need to say in order to protect myself. I feel like the people that are around you were people who used to cheer you on, but it's almost like they feel like you've gotten too big for your britches, and I don't think you have. I think that you've just leveled up into the Empress energy, which is, kind of top dog energy. And I feel like when you do that, when you do well and people aren't doing as well as you, that might cause a little bit of backbiting. We do have the Ten of Cups. I feel like you finally take your place, I'm going to say, and what makes you happy is to stand up for yourself and put down some boundaries. I feel like you're drawing a line in the sand, drawing some boundaries. The Ace of Cups is in the reverse. I feel like you're like, you know what, if I gotta go, I gotta go. No love lost here. If you guys are not interested in filling me up in the ways that I need to be filled up, then maybe I just need to be on my way. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Yeah. So it feels like you're making a decision because you're the wounded warrior. Like, you're a person with the Six of Wands, is someone who's come from the fire or come from the fight or the war. You've already walked through the hardest part of your life. We know that because the Queen of Wands is here. The Queen of Wands is brave and sitting on the throne in spite of everything that's gone on. So I feel like you're a person who is like, you know what, if I need to go on from here and be by myself again, I'll do it. I've got my spirituality intact. I am the Queen of Wands. I'm good. I'll find somebody who matches my energy. That's cool. The Queen and the King of Wands are both here. I feel like a group that used to cheer you on has now become defensive about your achievements. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. And the Nine of Cups, and you need to bring things back to order, my friend. And it's going to probably cost you a few things because we've now got fundamental differences. I don't think that when you entered this job, this group, or this friendship or this marriage or this relationship, I don't think that you had the fundamental differences. But I think it's because you have grown in your energy, that you've become the empress, whether you're feminine or masculine. And it's time for you to make a really big decision about what path you're taking. Because the judgment demands that you be reborn and that you do a 180 and really look at life and figure out what it is that you need. It's time for you to ground yourself, ditch what's draining you, right? And keep what is quality. We do have Leo. We have Pisces energy, Taurus, Virgo, more Taurus energy, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. We've got Libra. We've got Gemini, Aries energy. We've got Pisces energy, and Libra and Taurus energy. So you're making a decision based on what your intuition is telling you. And I think your intuition is telling you that maybe this group or situation or job has run its course for you. All right, Taurus, here we go. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter the next 7 days. My bull gang. Are you feeling this moon? It's kicking my energetic ass here. I'm exhausted. And I'm purging a lot of emotions. Don't forget, I'm a Pisces moon. I'm a big blubber face, right? So a lot of tears, a lot of purging, a lot of journaling. Yeah. Let's find out what's going on for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus and Jupiter. Tell me about Taurus, please. For the next 7 days, no matter when you get this, happy full moon, friends. We've got the Fool. Well, not say it all, right? The full moons are about release or endings, bringing things full circle. And you start off with the Fool. It tells me that you are in fact releasing something, and you are taking a leap into something new. I don't think you know what you're taking a leap into, but I think that you are ready for it. I'm going to say it feels as though you are you're trusting yourself. It's a trust fall. It feels like you're taking a leap, but I feel like you trust that you've done enough of the work to know that you are jumping not just into the abyss, but jumping into a new cycle of your life or a new chapter here. We do have the moon energy. Well, maybe for some of you, I feel like you're taking a leap even though you don't know how this is going to unfold. Because the moon is things that you can't see, but it's also things are not as they seem. So even, I think this is telling me you've become comfortable with being uncomfortable. We have the 6 of Wands energy here. And then we have the 8 of Wands. All right. So the 8 of Wands is telling me that it's time for you to push forward. It's time for you to move forward regardless of whether the moon is here or not. You know why I think you're not scared to take a leap of faith? Because the 6 of Wands is here. And the 6 of Wands is about coming from the fight, coming from the war, and then getting your victory or success. I feel like you have walked through the dark before. The 6 of Wands is the wounded warrior, essentially, right? Somebody who is who's gone through the dark night of the soul and is now ready for victory. I feel like you're pushing forward to victory. And I feel like the reason that you are taking this leap of faith is because nothing is left back there on the path. I feel like nothing is left in the past. This also tells me that you are okay with whatever is going to happen next because you are comfortable with being uncomfortable with this moon energy. Things are not as they seem, and I don't think you care. I feel like you're ready to be brave. It could be heartbreak or heartache that's making you take the leap, or you don't care about what is going to disappoint you here. We've got the Strength card and we've got the Ace of Cups. So I feel like somebody here might be deciding that it's time to find the courage to open my heart, jump into a relationship, jump into a new cycle, a new job. Something here is pushing you forward that I think you have a feeling, Pisces and Cancer energy, psychic energy, you have a feeling that something is going to work out the way it should. So I feel like you're taking a leap of faith. The Strength card is here. And although I feel like you had been holding back in the past because for fear of heartache or heartbreak or something not going right or being disappointed with the outcome, I feel like you've decided, I'm just going to do it. I don't really care what the outcome is because you don't got to stay here. What was that the other day? I forget who I did a reading for. And it was like, it's like you don't, I gotta go. What was it? It was like, what was that reading? I forget who it was for. You don't gotta go, but you can't stay here. That's what it feels like. You're like, I don't have to go, but I don't like the feeling of staying where I am right now. We do have the Two of Cups. We have the Magician. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. It does feel like someone here is in creation mode, creating an opportunity to deepen a bond that you have. Now, that could be the bond with you. It could be the bond with another. It could be a romantic or platonic bond. Two of Cups isn't always about romance. And the Magician is here saying, I know how to deepen a bond. All I have to do is be brave enough to give the offer. And I think that the Three of Swords is telling me that you feel that if you do give the offer, that it may not work out. I feel like, the Ace of Pentacles is pretty solid. If we plant it, it will grow. I feel like you're a Taurus, you're probably an expert at somebody who's planted seeds or dropped seeds, but I feel like you are creating your own opportunities. You're not waiting for someone else to create an opportunity for you. So for some of you, jumping into an opportunity, could be work, could be money, whatever it is in your life, could be a relationship. But for some of you, this Magician is telling me that someone's creating an opportunity to give to you, to deepen a connection with you. So take it from whatever way you need to look at it. The Emperor is here. Some of you are taking the opportunity to take charge of what happens from here. So somebody here is taking charge of this Ace of Pentacles and is going to be giving an offer to someone else, creating an opportunity. Now, you could be creating an opportunity to plant a seed to grow a business, or to, put out a CV for a job that you thought that you weren't, maybe that you don't have the skills for. But I feel like you're feeling in the Emperor energy, whether you're there or not as a person. I feel like you're feeling in control, that I do have enough stability, I have enough security, I have enough smarts, I've got enough wisdom. I feel like somebody here feels like I'm ready to either give the opportunity or receive it. And, the Magician can also be the manifestation. So it feels like if you've been manifesting a new relationship or deepening the connection with yourself or with another person, I feel like that is within reach because the Emperor is here. I feel like you could be getting an opportunity from an Emperor. For me, this can be an employer. It can be somebody who's in a higher level in their life. Feels like there is something that is being created as an opportunity that's involving the Emperor. Tell me what is the outcome here, please? We've got the Two of Pentacles. We've got the Ace of Wands. We've got the Nine of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you're jumping in. That's what it feels like. So if the Emperor is coming to you with an opportunity, you're jumping in. I feel like if you see an opening, you're going to be offering. You're going to be giving an offering. But I feel like either way, this is what we're looking at, the Fool. You don't really know what's going to happen. You feel like it's going to be a victory, so you're pushing forward, period. And it feels like here that the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Wands here is the 10 Wands, right? So you can put it down. You can release whatever you've been carrying. And I think what you've been carrying is the Two of Pentacles here. I feel like you've been carrying this back and forth energy of, should I, shouldn't I? Should I jump? Should I not jump? I feel like somebody here is making a decision to jump. It's around the corner. So you're going for it, whatever it is. Whether you are finding the courage to receive, Strength card, or the courage to offer, Strength card, the Ace of Cups. It feels like possibly for some of you, you want to connect with someone and say, hey, can we get together? Can we have a coffee? The Three of Cups is about reconciling something, but also can be about reunion, right? Tell me what is around the corner for Taurus. We have the World card, we have the Four of Wands, and we have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So I feel like you are on your way out of a cycle, shifting into something new. When the World card shows up, you're at the end of the line, my friend. I feel like there's nothing left here to do but accomplish or hit some sort of a milestone. It feels like there is a door, an energetic door that you are closing. And it's so you can have a new beginning. There's something here that you're leaving. You're ditching what drains you, and you're going to keep what's quality. And when you see what the quality thing is, I feel like you realize it is actually going to give you stable energy. We have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, and it does feel like to me that somebody is feeling a little bit unsteady. And it's maybe a little bit of a concern, I would say, that maybe you're not quite feeling 100% confident that this thing is going to work out. Because look, the moon is here with the Fool, and the Fool's taking a leap, and the moon is like anything could happen. I feel like you're going on pure adrenaline here with the Six of Wands. It feels like you're like, I'm just going to go, because that's Leo energy, and Leo is brave AF. So I feel like you're going to go. You're going to embody the Emperor energy, which is, I'm just going to do it. And I'll take the lumps when I get there. Yep, you are definitely releasing something. And I think it was something that was weighing heavy on your mind with the 10 Wands here. It feels like it was weighing heavy on your mind. It also feels like for some of you, this might be a situation that you're leaving because you feel betrayed by another or a group. It feels like something that has come to light or will come to light after the full moon that is quite painful. A realization, something you can't ignore because it's stabbing you in the back. And I feel like, yeah, for some of you, it's coming up in the future. You see, we've got the Three of Wands here. King of Swords is here. The truth is coming out. The truth is coming out in the future, and it's going to hurt you. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but somebody has been either saying something behind your back or doing something behind your back, and it feels like instead of getting angry, instead of getting upset, you embody the Emperor energy. You take control of the whole situation, and you decide to leap into something brand new, because I'm not hanging around for this stuff. Nope, they don't realize that when you back Taurus into a corner, they're just going to come out swinging. And I think that you are Taurus, and I think your swinging is what you're doing is you're finding yourself stability. I feel like you are just like, you know what? I'll just find my own stability. I'm the Emperor energy. I think that's what you're going to do. So we have Aries energy. We have Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. We have Gemini, more Aries energy, Cancer. We have Leo twice. We have Pisces and Cancer energy here, and Sagittarian energy, more Aries energy. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius on the bottom of the deck. I think that you are going to be making some sort of decision, head over heart. It's all about logic here. The logical thing for you is to take the leap of faith, and I think that's what you're going to do, because that's what your intuition is telling you with that moon energy. No matter what, you've been there before. You've walked through the darkest parts of your life, and this thing is not going to make you flinch. Let's find out what's going on for you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini, please. Tell me what's going on with Gemini. Gemini, happy full moon to you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. It's happening right next door in Taurus. It's close to you here. Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Next 7 days, we have the Ace of Swords, but it's in the reverse. Why is that? We've got the Three of Cups. It feels like you're feeling unsure about a group of people, or whether there's happiness, reconciliation, or a reunion on the horizon. We do have the Ten of Wands. This is really weighing heavy on you here. And we've got the Ten of Swords. Is this really over? It does feel like we're talking about maybe your social group or a group of people that you have deepened a bond with here. The Two of Cups, of course, is we've exchanged happy energy. We've exchanged loving, kind energy. The Three of Cups being here, it makes me feel like this is, there's something that has clouded your mind. It feels like you're trying to decide on something, but you don't have a whole lot of clarity, and therefore it's weighing on you with the Ten of Wands. We've got the Three of Cups here, and so it does feel like in the past we had a really good time. We enjoyed each other. We got together as a group. We joined together as a group. But something here I feel is coming to an end because we're in the tens, right? And the Ten of Swords tells me that possibly there's something here that is weighing on your mind, or that you feel as though something has run its course. It's come to an end and you're like, has it really run its course? Has it come to an end? I think that's the part that's weighing heavy on you here. Could be a friendship, could be a group of people or a situation. Hang on. I just have no control of my hands today with my shuffling. All right. We've got the Knight of Cups in the reverse. We've got the Eight of Wands. And we've got the Tower. Yeah, you know, it really does feel like you're going through some sort of a mental negotiation with yourself. It feels like with the Knight of Cups in the reverse, it's unrequited love, or this is I don't really know what to make of what's going on emotionally right now. It feels like you're trying to gain clarity, but it's, you know, the universe isn't really helping you out. It feels like something here has, feels like it's crashed in. It feels like it's an aggressive breaking down of possibly your social group or people that you know and enjoy and love. It does feel like with the Tower here that something here is shifting, and it's shifting quickly. And I feel like it has something to do with this Three of Cups here. The Three of Cups may be coming to an end where we all got along, we were all in a social group, and that's weighing heavy on you because I feel like you were enjoying yourself in that social group. It feels like you're trying to reconcile the mind. Like, how do I feel about the end of this? We really did have a lot of fun together. We have the Two of Wands. So now the only thing left here is now in the rubble, you've got to make a decision. Am I going to stay stuck here while everything is shifting in the rubble? Or am I going to move forward here? Am I going to take action? We've got the Star. I feel like it's every man for himself, to be honest. We've got Aries energy here, got Aquarius energy, and now we have Taurus energy, Five of Pentacles. It does feel like somebody here has decided to put themselves on the outside looking in. Gemini, I don't think that you feel like it's something that you need to get in the middle of. I feel like with the Star energy here, that what you're trying to do is have hope that things are going to work out, but I think you're backing away from the situation. With the Two of Wands being here, it feels like you don't want to be stuck in this energy of the Ace of Swords in the reverse. You don't want to be stuck in this energy of I don't really know what to do. So I think that what you're doing is you're disconnecting from the whole situation. I don't think that you want to have any part of it. Your decision is that I'm going to heal, but I'm going to heal on the outside looking in. I'm going to have hope from the outside looking in. I'm not getting in the middle of it. I'm not getting in the middle of the Three of Cups to try and sort things out. While everything is shifting, I'm just going to stay out of the way of everything that's falling to the ground. We've got the Death card. I think something here is either ending or transforming. So that means that it doesn't necessarily have to be breaking apart forever. But, you know, the shift of the Tower comes for a reason. Something was faulty. Something was an illusion. There was maybe this Three of Cups here. We weren't really friends. Maybe we were acquaintances. It feels like something is changing, transforming. It's maybe it's falling apart, right, with the Tower, so it can be built up again a little bit differently because transformation is here. I feel like you're going to watch this from a distance while everything burns to the ground. I don't think you want to get involved, honestly. And that's kind of Gemini energy, right? Like if you're called on the carpet and somebody is calling you out, of course you're going to say what is what, but you're not just going to insert yourself into a situation that you feel has really nothing to do with you. This is something that I feel you're watching from a distance. We've got the Nine of Swords. We've got the Lovers in reverse. And the Ace of Cups. So you're having a hard time deciding whether you should be worried about this or not. I feel like either way with the Ace of Cups here, I feel like you are... If you decide to depart this group and not go back, I feel like you're taking with you the Ace of Cups, which means no hard feelings. I still have love for all of you. I still have an open heart for all of you. I still have heart space for all of you, but I'm not going to stand here and watch things burn to the ground. That's not what I'm doing here. So I feel like the Lovers in reverse is telling me you're having a hard time making a choice about what to do with your Nine of Swords energy, about your worry, about the future. about what we had in the past. This could be a relationship one-on-one. We could be talking about a romantic relationship. We don't have to be, of course, but it depends what you're looking at this as. We do have unrequited love, and we used to have a lot of fun together, but now it's weighing heavy on me because now you've betrayed me, or you feel betrayed by a group of people, or somebody you used to be very social with. What's around the corner? We do have the Queen of Swords energy. So I feel like you will speak on this, but I also feel like first you'll get your balance. First, you'll think it out. You'll speak out. If you speak out, it's to relieve yourself, I'm going to say, because it needs to be said. But it also is about liberation. I think you just want to liberate yourself from the situation. Like, you just may put your hands up and saying, look, I don't even know all the details. Ace of Swords is in the reverse. Don't ask me about the details. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm just going to try and keep harmony in my energy here. But there you are, Knight of Swords. So I feel like you feel pushed into a corner. Somebody here is coming to you and saying, you need to make a decision. It's them or me. Who are you deciding? Is it them or me? Because I'm not interested in being part of this group anymore. And if you are, possibly that might stop us from being friends. We've got the Magician. Why is that? The Magician is here with the Six of Pentacles. I feel like you are going to create an opportunity to speak freely with someone who is the Queen of Swords. Somebody who's really putting pressure on you to see it from their vision or to see it from their side. The Queen of Swords is somebody who has a lot of details, facts, who's being truthful and who's being honest. But so are you. We got Libra and Gemini energy here. I feel like what you're going to do is create an opportunity to speak with this person one-on-one, give them reciprocal energy, and to find out why they are in this wounded warrior energy. It feels like somebody here feels out of control. I don't know if it's you or another person, but it feels like you're going through a rocky emotional time. It might be with one person. It could be with a group of people or somebody that you're very social with, somebody that maybe you've been dating, but it feels like you have a decision to make here. Am I backing away from this completely and silently, or am I going to have one-on-one conversation with the person that I like the most out of this group and ask them what's going on? Somebody here is going to force you to make a decision about whether it's them or me. And I feel like this tower falling has a lot to do with it. Everything is shifting, but understand the tower shows up for mercy. It's like this thing was not solid in the first place. So I feel like you ended up entering into this group or into this relationship, and now it's just not working out for you. We have Aries and Gemini. We have Scorpio. We have Libra, Aquarius, more Scorpio. This is going to happen in Scorpio season. We've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We've got Cancer energy. And Sagittarius and Aries. With the Emperor in the reverse, it tells me that things feel a little bit out of control at this time. Yep, because of the Tower. The Tower is bringing utter chaos, is what it looks like. Tell me about Cancer. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Happy full moon, friends. Full moon is on the 5th. So this will probably come out in the morning of the 5th here. So you're dealing in full moon energy, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter the next 7 days. Whenever you get this, tell me about Cancer, please. We have the Seven of Swords. What's going on here? What's lurking here? We've got the Emperor. We've got the King of Wands. And we've got the Fool in reverse. So this is very interesting. Look, I feel like this Emperor energy, it feels like you are trying to gain control or gather yourself because you're just about ready to pursue something. It feels like it is a new beginning, but you're unsure about whether or not you're going to have to just take a complete blind leap of faith. And when the Fool is in the reverse for me, it's like I don't feel like I have enough information. I don't feel like I have all the details, but I'm willing to take a risk. The King of Wands doesn't usually take a really big risk, but it does feel like somebody here feels like they're in control of the risk. And so I feel like you're managing risk. So sometimes when you're a person who is owning a business, you will take managed risk. I'm going to say be aware that the Seven of Swords is here. So there is something lurking under the surface. Something here that you don't see is present, but I think that being the Emperor is the King of Cups. That's highly psychic energy. And I feel like you've already considered that there could be something going on under the surface that you're not seeing at this time. I think that's why you're in the King of Wands energy, because the King of Wands is the brave one, right? And they're all brave, but this one has the wisdom of becoming the Knight of Wands and then the King of Wands. So this person has already practiced their bravery. This is somebody who's fallen on their nose. This is somebody who's been on wobbly legs before. This is somebody who has grown from the Knight and has learned to manage risk. And so it does feel like here that this is managed risk with the Emperor and the Fool in the reverse. I think that if you do fall on your nose, I feel like you're prepared to take it on the chin, right? You're okay if it doesn't work out. Tell me what you don't see. There's something here you can't see because it's lurking under the surface. We've got the Page of Cups. Something that may surprise you. The Three of Swords is here, and the Empress is in the reverse. Ooh, all right. This is a few things, right? So the Empress in reverse could be a reversal of fortune. It could be that things are not as they appear because the Seven of Swords is here. What's lurking under the surface is there is a possibility that you could lose abundance. You could lose money, power, wisdom. You could lose something here because I feel like something is about to blindside you. So be careful, Cancer. It feels like something is about to blindside you, but I also feel like you're managing risk. It feels like you already know that something could disappoint you or break your heart or not work out for you. The Page of Cups is here. It could be a new connection. It could be a new connection with somebody here. Somebody maybe that you are about to meet, or somebody that you've already met and that you've been dating. But the Empress in the reverse is not giving me great energy. It's giving me unstable energy. It's also giving me the energy of, like, we've got the Emperor and the Empress on the table at the same time. And if we are talking about relationship, it does feel like this Empress is not who they say they are. So I'm going to say that is your fear, that this person isn't who they say they are, and they're actually going to break my heart. The Empress in reverse is somebody who looks the part, but is not actually taking part. So somebody who looks great, has great hair, has great nails, drives a great car, but they live in a squalor. They live in a hoarder's house. They're a person who looks really put together on the outside, but they don't have any money. They buy things on credit. They're somebody who possibly has children, but is not a really good mother or father. This is somebody who I feel has something lurking under the surface that just might be disappointing or break your heart. This is somebody who I feel you're not completely and totally acquainted with. This could be a surface thing right now. Page of Cups is here. Could be a surface thing right now. I think your spidey sense is tingling, to be honest, with the Seven of Swords, that you think that there's something here you can't put your finger on, but if you take this leap of faith, it may not work out in your favor, but I think you're managing risk. Tell me more about Cancer. We've got the Seven of Wands. Okay, well, that makes sense. Managing risk means you got to have your boundaries up, right? You got to have your boundaries up. Seven of Wands tells me you're protecting what is yours. So I'm going to meet this person at the property line, but I may not invite them into the yard. It feels like somebody here is managing risk because they know their boundaries are good, which means that if this person ends up not being who they said they are or who they portray themselves to be, I'm out. I'm cutting out. That's it. We've got the Hierophant. Faith card is here, and we've got Temperance. So I feel like you're going to wait. You're going to wait. You're going to feel it out. I feel like you're going to wait till things level themselves out. The Hierophant being here tells me that you will always do the right thing that works with your boundaries. I feel like you have solid boundaries. I feel like you're on a solid timeline, I'm going to say, that you really always do the right thing, but you're always willing to keep one ear to the sky, one ear on divine timing. Temperance here tells me that things will even themselves out, but also Temperance and Hierophant tells me you're going to feel it. You're going to know. You're going to know with a feeling of everything finally coming into balance, or you're going to know with a surety that it's time to erect these boundaries. So I don't think that that's the way I think you're managing risk. I think that you trust yourself. And so Cancer, I feel like you're going in, you trust yourself, you're going to feel out the situation. We've got the Ace of Swords, and if and when it comes to this place here where you are feeling something and you begin to put up your boundaries, I feel like you're just going to get clarity. You're going to open the conversation, you're going to ask the hard questions, and you're going to get clarity for the answers that you need at this time. So whether this is something that is a workplace thing, or this is something that is a risk you're taking financially or emotionally, it does feel like it could be somebody that you've just met and don't know very well. I'm going to say with the Empress in reverse that this person is playing the part. They want to make you see one thing, but they're actually doing another. Actions and words that do not match, or manipulation. It feels a little bit manipulative, if I'm being honest. So keep your guard up, which is the Seven of Wands. Protect yourself financially for sure, because the Empress is in the reverse, but it could be your heart as well, because the Page of Cups is here. Something's going to show up that's under the surface, Seven of Swords, and it's going to surprise you when it gets to the surface, and I think that you're not going to be happy with it when you see it. But it's going to give you clarity of mind. 3 swords and 1 is 4. We've got the outcome as the High Priestess. There it is. I can't even write that stuff. Look, your intuition is sharp. The Queen of Swords is here with the High Priestess. Your intuition is sharp when it comes to making decisions, when it comes to wondering, do I stay or do I go? You're on point with your sharpness of your intuition. I think when it comes down to it, you are making decisions based on logic and reason and whatever your intuition says. Cancer, you're listening to your to whatever the universe is telling you, but you're also someone who really is very balanced in your intuitive energy. You're used to making decisions from the gut. So listen to yourself about this 2 of Wands energy before you take action. Make sure you know what you're up against, what's around the corner. We've got the Knight of Cups. It does feel like going from the Page of Cups to the Knight of Cups, if this is romantic for you, that this is the precipice of the decision of, do I deepen the connection? Do we go from just seeing each other casually in a group of people to seeing each other one-on-one and actually dating and getting to know each other? It's the deepening of a connection, or the deepening of my emotional connection to someone here. We've got the 8 of Swords, and you're not sure if you want to do it because your spidey sense is tingling, Cancer. And if it is, listen to it. Look, the third eye is open with the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles knows when to invest. Knows when to invest, how to invest, knows when things are off kilter, because this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. I'm talking about the full moon, my friend. I feel like that this is a decision that you will make probably in the next 7 days. And I feel like your third eye being open is going to tell you when things are in balance and when they are not. Especially when it comes to a Cancer, you know that you're great when it comes to investment. If you're a business owner or you're used to making financial investments, you know that you're on point. Listen to your intuition. And if it doesn't feel right, if the 8 of Swords is here, get the hell out of there, because the devil is in town. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I just love tarot. I couldn't write it that good. Look, the devil is here. It feels like somebody here is trying to manipulate your money, trying to manipulate your mind, trying to manipulate your emotional energy. And they're going to call it this. But look what's coming up. Oh boy. Yeah, look at this. There we go. Right? We've got the Moon, we've got the Lovers, and we've got the Death card. So I feel like an ending is hiding or looming in the emotional energy, your emotional energy, Cancer, Pisces energy, and this Gemini energy. I think you're going to choose to hold back, watch, observe, sharpen the mind, wait to make a decision. It feels like something here is either going to change or end, one of the two. You might know this person, and that might be why it's hard to make a decision. You might be getting to know them, but you also might know them. And you might be hard on yourself, 4 cups I just saw, because you're like, but I don't want to stay in my comfort zone. I want to take the risk. Well, the risk is always up to you, right? Always, always. Never give your power over to a tarot reader. So we've got Capricorn energy, Taurus and Virgo as well. We've got Sagittarian energy. We've got Taurus. We've got more Sagittarian, Libra and Taurus. Cancer, Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Scorpio energy on the bottom of the deck tells me this is all going down in Scorpio season. All right, Leo. Tell me what's going on for Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Happy full moon, Leo. We've got a Taurus placement. It's full moon in Taurus. As you get this reading, it'll probably already be the day of the full moon, November the 5th. Doing this late at night. Tell me about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the next 7 days. All right, okay. Magician was in the upright in the deck, but as it popped out, it ended up in the reverse. Why is the Magician in the reverse? We've got the 4 of Swords. We've got the 6 of Cups. We've got the Knight of Cups. Leo, it feels like there is someone in your force field. There is someone in your life, in your wheelhouse, whatever it is. It feels like you know somebody here, and you've known them for quite a long time. This person, I think, is somebody who, unfortunately, is trying to manipulate your romantic or emotional energy. It could be just emotional energy. It could be just the heart space, but it could be romance for some of you because the Knight of Cups is here. The 6 of Cups tells me you have history with this person. This is a nostalgic sort of connection. But what worries me is that the Magician, having been in the deck in the upright, flew out in the reverse. And I feel like because it came up at the last second like that, it feels like you figured this out at the last second, at the 11th hour. I'm going to say with this clock here. Oh, yes, because we are. Oh, no, this is 9/28, y'all. September 28. Could be somebody you met then. Could be someone, should be 9, 10, 11... 19. Oh, wait a second. I don't know why I'm doing the numbers. 28 is 10 and 9 is 19. 19 is the sun. That's your energy. Yep. I feel like there is somebody here that you have been trying to heal from. This person, I feel, tried to manipulate you and your energy. They took advantage of the fact that you've known them for a while, or that they are in your history. It feels like this person is trying to manipulate your emotional self or your love energy. Like someone plays on your emotions. Tell me why the Magician is in the reverse. We've got the 4 of Pentacles, we've got the Knight of Wands, and we've got the Knight of Swords in the reverse. I'm going to say that, Leo, this feels like it could be somebody that you had a situationship with. The 4 of Pentacles is here with the Knight of Wands. So it feels like we're no longer seeing each other, or we're no longer offering this fiery energy. It feels like we don't really even talk anymore. I feel like we are in the Mercury retrograde shadow, and in the next 4 days, Mercury will go into retrograde, and it does feel like somebody is on your mind that you haven't spoken with in a while, and it feels like this person is probably coming back into your energy field here. Somebody who you haven't spoken with for a while, but you probably had either a situationship or there was an attraction between you that you no longer have for them. So I don't know if you're no longer attracted to them, but it feels like or shut off and shut down. It's like you're not offering, you're holding back your fire from them. It's like we aren't speaking at this time. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, we've got the Five of Pentacles, and we've got the Strength card. Somebody here with the Ace of Pentacles, I feel, is going to try and manipulate your emotional energy for them, and it's based on that you have nostalgia with this person. I'm going to say that they hit you in the soft spot, and this person, I feel, is someone that you have been disconnected from or had fallen into lack with after having pretty continued connection. 5 Pentacles and 1 is 6, and so it feels like we did have reciprocal energy here. But it feels as though you began to back away or hold back courageously, because this person, I feel, is someone who can get anything from you, Leo. It's like the one person who can get anything from you. We do have the 6 of Wands energy. This is a person who I feel gives you a lot of attention. Look, it's all pointing to somebody you either dated or a situationship. It feels like this person really strokes your ego. They give you a lot of attention. This is very fiery, very passionate. This is, we've got Leo energy here, right? We've got Sagittarian energy. And I don't know if you've ever felt the connection between Leo and Sagittarius, but it is explosive. Like it is, it's super hot, right? And so I feel like this person is somebody who you feel manipulated by as it pertains to your fire energy, but also your heart space energy. And I think it's because that you have known this person for a long time. They have captured a place in your heart that you'll probably always keep available for them. This person, I feel, is showing up with an opportunity for you to get back into the passionate time that you used to have with them. It does feel like it's probably past energy. And this person, I feel, is someone that you try and hold back from because you know that it's bad news. You know they come in and they manipulate your emotional energy or your romantic energy, and it never ends well for you. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the Chariot. We've got the 3 of Cups. Ooh, boy. Yes. Yep, that's what I'm feeling right there. Look, somebody is coming in to try and get the reunion with you. They could be a Cancer. They could be a Scorpio, or it could be in Scorpio season. It feels like somebody wants to reunite or reconcile. They feel like if we just put behind us what happened back there, that we can begin a new cycle, a new time. I feel like this person's coming in pretty quick, though. It feels like with this Chariot energy here, it feels like someone is like bearing down on you, barreling. I feel like you probably already feel this, Leo, because you're pretty psychic, right? And especially if you have water in the moon or the rising, you already feel this. You know that somebody is coming. This person is coming back. It feels like with the 6 of Cups, they are coming back. And I feel like this person is going to say, look, I've changed. I've totally transformed. Well, look, they may look good. They may wear the right makeup, do the right hair, I'm going to say. But it feels like somebody here is... Oh, gosh, really? Charlie just said dead inside. So this person doesn't have the ability to really share emotions with you. Well, the Knight of Swords is in the reverse. You guys don't really have much to say to each other. The Knight of Cups is here, but it's with the 6 of Wands. This person showers you with emotional attention. I feel like you've been hurt by this person and you've been trying to hold back from them forever, but I feel like they're coming back at you here. Yeah. It's around the corner. Oh boy, lovers. 5 of Wands. Yeah, see, you still have fundamental differences. And that's the thing. I feel like the reason that you keep everything under the surface, that you keep stoic and you don't show them your feelings, is because you really have deep feelings for this person, but they're all over the place. The Knight of Wands is here. They are all over the place, whether they are feminine or masculine. I feel like the reason you turn stoic or the reason you don't show them feelings, even though you have very, very deep feelings for this person, is because I feel that you know that nothing has changed. Five of Wands. We're still in lack. Fundamental differences. You're never going to change my mind about the situation. I'm never going to change yours. It feels like someone here is a bit of a wild child and that they show up every once in a while to get your emotional attention. I feel like this is someone that you have a really hard time refusing, though, Leo. You have a really hard time because look at this, right? It feels like you have a super hard time because you really, deep down, you have a lot of feelings for this person. But you know that they're just in and then they're out again because the Knight of Wands is here. Got the Queen of Cups. So from your side, you think that this is a soulmate connection. Or somebody coming at you thinks that this is a soulmate connection, but it never ends up being that way. It never ends up being solid, being grounded. The Eight of Pentacles is here with the King of Pentacles. I keep trying to work on it. I want to provide for this person. I want to make things stable, but it always comes down to lies. It always comes down to deceit. Something is under the surface. Something is under the surface that comes to the surface. This person might just want your time, energy, efforts, or money. It feels like somebody here is coming back into your life. Be careful. I don't think I have to tell you to be careful. I think you already know the situation and you're probably already guarded when it comes to it. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Gemini, Leo again. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We've got Gemini energy, more Scorpio, Cancer. We've got more Cancer energy. See, it's all about feelings, right? The Magician being in the reverse is what bothers me the most. I just feel like somebody knows that you have a heart space for them and they're coming in to manipulate that so they can get something else for you, which might be time, money, effort, or energy, but it's very unstable because the Knight of Wands is here. And I feel like this person is going to be in and out of your life and it's going to crash and burn the whole thing again. Tell me about Virgo. Happy full moon, Virgo. This is for the next 7 days, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Look, I just saw the Wheel of Fortune with the Six of Cups. I'm just saying. Something might be moving forward or coming back around for you. Look, we are in the retrograde shadow phase, right? The pre-shadow. I think Mercury goes into retrograde, and it goes there in Scorpio on the 9th, I think. We've got the Four of Wands. Tell me why we've got the Four of Wands for Virgo. We've got the Ace of Swords. You're becoming very clear on what you want, on where your stability lies, on what really makes you happy and celebratory and joyous. You're becoming clear on something here. Queen of Wands, what you really want to go get, but you're hesitating. Why is that? Five Wands is holding back, hesitation. I'm not really sure what I want to do with this energy. You're thinking about it with the Ace of Swords. The Emperor is here. Virgo, I feel like you are in control of the whole situation. It feels like you're thinking about someone, something, or a situation that I feel is going to require for you to make a big, bold move. The Queen of Wands is here. The Queen of Wands could be a person. It could be somebody who you're very attracted to or has a very attractive energy. You're thinking about this person, which means they're probably thinking about you. That's a science thing, right? When two particles that are equally charged, one vibrates, the other one does. If somebody's thinking about you, it's not coincidence. It's not just you. It's them as well. So it does feel like there is something to do with the Queen of Wands here. So somebody who could be in their fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, and they match your energy because Aries, right? The Emperor is here. I feel like you are a person who, in the presence of fire, keeps it all together because you're cynical. That's what it feels like. You're a cynic. And I don't think I've met a Virgo who's not. It feels like you're quite cynical. You're thinking about something and trying to get clarity about a person or a situation that you don't have an answer for just yet. Because the Four of Wands is here. And although I think you know what you want, I don't necessarily know that's what you think you might get because, well, then why are you holding back? Tell me more about the Four of Wands. We've got the World card. So So what else do we have here? What else do we need to know? We've got the Nine of Wands and the Hierophant energy. I think we're looking at a replay. My friend, I think we're looking at a replay. It feels like something here has ended. I feel like that you would see it as being a milestone, that you finally got it out of your life. I'm just going to say you're calling it back in with this thought process here, though. I feel that somebody here is maybe feeling lonely or missing the connection, missing the commitment, missing the marriage. The Hierophant is here. It feels like somebody here is wanting to do the right thing. I feel as though what you're trying to do right now, Virgo, is to drop. You don't want to think about the situation. I don't think that you know what to do with it. I also feel like you're in a bit of a stalemate with the self. You are in this place where you are in control of everything. You stay in control. You like people to see that you're in control. But when it comes to the Queen of Wands, feminine or masculine, this person I feel is somebody who you're so very called in by. You're attracted to their energy. You're attracted to their thought pattern. It starts with a thought pattern and then they pull you in. This is probably someone who you were very connected to in terms of spiritual connection, or this is somebody you've either been in a commitment with or a marriage with. I feel like it ended badly. I feel like you ended up in the Nine of Wands energy at the end of it all. You ended up being the wounded warrior. I feel like you are, you're still carrying that with you. And every once in a while, I think your thoughts go back to this person. We have the Fool. We have the King of Swords. Oh no. You're thinking of trying again. That's what it looks like here. Somebody here, and it might not be you, but maybe it's the guy behind you. I don't know. It feels like somebody here is thinking about trying again. I think it's because of the time in, I want to say. That if you were in a commitment with this person with the Hierophant energy, that this is a spiritual connection. This is a connection you have a hard time letting go of. It feels like somebody here is thinking about taking a leap of faith back into this commitment with this person. And it's because of all of the time in. It feels like maybe we were married for a long time, maybe we dated for a long time, or we lived together. The Four of Wands is here. Someone's like, they're my soulmate. I know I always say it that way, but I say it that way because look, we all have soulmates. Hundreds, thousands of them. They all come to us with lessons. It doesn't mean you're supposed to keep them, put them in a cage and keep them in the backyard. It feels like it's something here that a lesson that I feel like you haven't quite learned yet. But it also feels like you're looking at this in a logical way. I feel like logically, which you are, a cynical logic person, I feel like logically, when you think about it with your head, you know that the 10 Pentacles, you know that you built a life with this person, that there was a lot of, we built family, we built material wealth. It feels like you're getting lost in nostalgia. And I'm just going to say, we're in the pre-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. This is how it begins. So it feels like somebody here wants to reach out to somebody they haven't seen in a while. We could be divorced. We're maybe not living together anymore. It feels like it didn't end very well for you. I feel like you did level up. You learned from this situation. You did level up into the Emperor, but I feel like this here is telling me that you're now again thinking about the passionate moments, the passionate times, the hot times, the fiery times, how attracted you are to this person. And it feels like with the Fool, wants to take a leap back into the Four of Wands. Tell me more. We've got the Two of Pentacles. You're in the decision phase. You know that you need to keep your balance. You know that your life is very busy. And I feel like you're trying to keep your balance as you're going back and forth, trying to weigh the pros and cons. The universe is trying to keep you in balance and saying, use your head, use your smarts, you're highly intelligent, you're very factual. Please keep your emotions out of it. I'm going to say that we do have Pentacles and Swords here, which is very practical, honest and truthful, factual energy. But I feel like your fire energy, right? You might have a fire placement. or you're very passionate about this person, it's pulling you in. The Queen of Wands is very attractive, not only physically, but like their energy is very attractive. And I think like somebody's calling you in with their thought process. Somebody's thinking about you, so you're thinking about them. But I feel like there's been a whole divorce. Look, there's the Hierophant and the World card together for me is divorce, and it was hard. It feels like somebody wants to get back together with an ex, or if you don't want to get back together, you're thinking about them, and therefore they're thinking about you. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the High Priestess. This is a very spiritual connection. This is a psychically spiritual, empathic connection. We don't even have to say anything to each other. We're forever going to be connected in our spiritual, empathic, or psychic energy. I feel like what the pull is the passion. The Knight of Wands is here. It feels like this person makes you want to just take a leap of faith, or like, can't we just embark on some sort of passionate moments and then go to our own parts of the earth? It feels like somebody here is connected to this person and can't stop thinking about the passion at times. Got the Queen of Cups. Whew, boy. This is deep, my friend. It's not just passion, it's deep feelings. I feel like these are the facts. I'm looking at the King of Swords. The facts are, something was said that changed everything. When the king raises a sword with the butterflies above the head, something was said that changed everything. It put us in a new chapter. And I feel like the Ten of Pentacles is almost a bit of nostalgia. It feels like you're trying to reconcile your thought pattern by going sort of back and forth about the good times, the bad times. And what it accumulates to is, I feel like logically you know that really all that happened within this connection was material wealth. We had a lot of cool shit. We had a nice house, we had a few cars, we had some toys. It feels like it was an accumulation of wealth, but it doesn't feel like there was a lot of connection. Because we're dealing with the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords. It feels like one of you was very disconnected from the relationship. One of you is a workaholic, or works a lot, or has businesses, and the other one was chasing the other with their passion, and the other person was not listening. So whoever that is. Around the corner, we've got the Three of Wands in the reverse. We've got the Judgment card here, and we've got the Devil. So you need to make a really big decision. And I'm just going to say that the Devil is pulling on your Judgment energy. The Devil is bringing, I feel like you are chained energetically to someone here. And although you know there's no future, Three of Wands in the reverse, it feels like this is going to come back round. The universe does this, right? The universe will bring you to the twos, right? Two of Pentacles, bring you to the twos, bring you to a place of decision making. Have you learned that? I'm now bringing you back to the two, because we've got two paths. Do you want to go here, or do you want to go there? And no matter what path you take, Virgo, this path is going to lead you to lessons. We know that for sure. 100%. Both paths are going to lead you to lessons. But do you need to learn the lesson again from this relationship? And maybe you do. Look, I'm not saying that you don't. I'm not saying that you don't want to. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm saying if you haven't learned the lesson, that's usually why it comes back around. But I'm going to say that the lesson that you're supposed to learn is about codependency, about feeling chained to someone. It feels like there's no future here, but you may need the lesson. So take it as it resonates for you. Six of Cups. Look, this person's in your memory bank. They are somebody who I feel you've spent a lot of time with. You grew up with them. It could be childhood sweethearts. This could be a member of the family, right? The Six of Cups is people you've known for a long, long time. Queen of Pentacles is in the reverse. I feel like you took a financial hit when all of this ended. You sure did. Financial hits. You took financial hit, and now you're finally back to this Ace of Pentacles in the future. And that's when this person comes in. It might be when you have more money. Careful for that as well. We've got Capricorn energy. We've got more Capricorn energy, Virgo and Pisces, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius and Aries, Taurus, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius and Aries, more Pisces energy, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. All right, Libra. Tell me about Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Happy full moon to you, Libra. Let's find out what's going on, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What's going on in this full moon energy that's coming up on the 5th? You're probably already in the 5th when you view this. We usually have 3 or 4 days leading up to the full moon and after the full moon. Full moon's like, you know, this beaver moon is the brightest and the closest to the earth. They linger for a little bit. Check with your favorite astrologer. They'll tell you how long. Tell you what, me being a Taurus sun, it is doing a number on me. Tell me about Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. We've got the 4 of Pentacles. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. We've got the moon energy. What's going on here? I don't think you know. I think you're as much in the dark as I am at this time. It feels like you don't really know what's going on. It feels like there's something here that is stopped. It's shut off and shut down, not offering any more energy. Something has become quiet. Things are not as they seem. It feels like somebody or someone is healing. It could be you, it could be someone else. We've got the 3 of Swords here. Somebody is going through a pretty rough time. The sword that is on the ground feels like somebody doesn't know what to say. It feels like there's somebody here that you were connected to, that you no longer feel connected to because something has stopped. Somebody's hiding something or hiding their energy or not offering that energy to you any longer. With the moon energy here, yeah, things are not as they seem. We've got the full moon here though, right? The moon is in Taurus. It could be dealing with a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, another Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, or a Pisces. But it feels like I feel that you are feeling pretty deep about something, feeling something pretty deeply. Tell me about the 4 of Pentacles. What has stopped? It feels like somebody's holding back their energy from you, or maybe you're holding back your energy. Take it as it resonates for you. Flip-flop it as you need to. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the King of Pentacles. And we've got the 2 of Swords. I feel like something here has gone quiet. It's like somebody here was pursuing or offering passion or offering excitement or exciting conversation, but it feels like it's maybe leveled out. We've got the King of Pentacles, who's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and I did already mention those signs. But the King of Pentacles is somebody who's solid, moves slowly, is very grounded, somebody who's very focused on life, focused on my pentacles, focused on my business, focused on the 3D. It does feel like this person, it does look like it could be maybe a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or a Cancer, or a Pisces. Somebody here is holding back, or you just don't know why all of a sudden it's gone quiet. 2 of Swords, it feels like somebody is in this full moon energy trying to make a decision. This is sort of auspicious, right? Because we've got Taurus and the full moon. So it feels like it's because of the Taurus full moon that somebody here has gone quiet. So I don't know if you're dealing with a Taurus or if you have a Taurus placement, but somebody here has gone quiet and is in their meditation energy. Somebody here is trying to heal from feeling something very deeply that they feel is no longer viable. We've disconnected. We're not talking. Holding back. Why are you holding back? Or maybe they are. We've got the King of Cups. Somebody's trying to decide how they feel about a situation, and while they're deciding, they're not showing it on the surface. Somebody here is trying to heal their emotional energy, because look, the King of Cups feels things very, very deeply. Love energy, emotional energy. Somebody here is feeling it very deeply, is wearing their heart on their sleeve. And they feel like I need to reel that in. I need to get back in my King of Pentacles energy where I'm stable and sturdy. I'm good. I'm dealing with myself, focused on me, focused on my my pentacles, my business, the building of my life. I've got the Knight of Swords. And we've got the Six of Swords. The Knight of Swords is communication. It feels like somebody who, I'm having a really hard time right now, Libra, figuring out if this is your energy or theirs. It feels like a blurred line. Hearing the song Blurred Lines, that's why I said that. It feels like it's a blurred line. That there is intelligent, specific conversation with you and somebody else. It feels like the King of Cups is the underlying emotional energy. That somebody here is being very careful with how they speak, what they say. What they do want to do is just blurt it out. I don't know if that's you or them, but somebody here just wants to blurt out how they feel, but they feel it if they blurt it out that the other person is going to move on, or that the other person is hiding that they don't feel the same. So I feel like we have two people who are sort of in a deadlock. Should I just release this? Should I just let it go? 4 and 6 is 10. Should I just let it go? But I've got something to say. It does feel like possibly with all these swords here that it could be you, right? That maybe you're hiding something. 1, 2, 3, 4 swords, right? We've got lots of swords. 4, 6, yeah, 7. It might be you that's keeping your feelings under the surface, keeping stoic, not showing somebody how deeply you feel. I feel as though you really want to say it, but you're scared if you do that this person is going to run for the hills, that they're going to see you as chaotic of the mind. And I feel like you pride yourself on being very sturdy, solid, and very evenly balanced in your energy, that is how you communicate, connection, say things, think patterns that you're thinking. So I think that everything has slowed down to a crawl. Things have been going very slow here. It feels like you're going to reassess the situation. I don't think that this is over, but I feel like it's come to a stop, or almost dead in the water. Like it feels dead in the water, right? It feels like it's come to a place where it's just, we're not saying anything, we're not communicating. It's like everything has stopped. And it feels like it's because you're trying to figure out what to say. When the sword is on its side for me in the 4 of Swords, when it comes up in a depiction like this, it's like somebody is scared to be hurt, or because 3 of Swords is what we see first on this card. Someone is scared to be hurt or be disappointed. I don't know what to say, and if I say it, if I don't reassess it and say it perfectly, say it the right way, this person's going to take it the wrong way. It feels like you're trying to make a decision about what to say, whether to reach out. I feel like there's a lot of really great, passionate conversation that happens between you and this person, but I also feel like you need to make a decision. Is this something that's draining you, or is this something that of quality that you want to keep in your life? And I think that you need to decide what you're going to release, because I feel like it's also making you feel chaotic in the mind and chaotic in your feelings. Tell me what the outcome is for Libra. We've got the Page of Wands. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. And we've got the 7 of Swords, but are we the best match? I'm going to say that the King and the Queen of Pentacles are a really great match. They do mirror each other. They're also really good, Capricorn, Taurus energy. They're also really good at building material wealth. They're both entrepreneurs, people who make their own money, have their own stability, people who don't have to rely on each other or depend on each other to bring something. I feel like that you know this, but I still feel like you're unsure. The 7 of Swords is here. And so you're unsure, is this person really stable financially? Are they really someone who's moving really slow? I feel like you want to reach out. I feel like you will, because the Page of Swords is here, but I think Page of Wands is here. But I think you're going to reach out in a very solid, sort of grounded way. Like, hey, how's it going? How's work? Like, it feels like we're going to keep it in the pentacle realm. Pentacles and swords, practical, grounded, analytical. We're going to keep it in that realm. I don't see any cups here other than the king. The king's got some pretty deep feelings. And I feel like you might be unsure about how someone's feeling about you. Tell me what's around the corner. Tell me what's around the corner. We've got the Six of Wands. I think this person wants to give you attention. I think they're very attracted to you. And I feel like you're overthinking it. Because that's what you do, Libra. You overthink things. The Six of Wands is here. We've got the Ace of Cups. Yeah. They want to shower you with emotional attention. Two Cups is here. They want to deepen the connection with you. And I feel like you're in your Pentacle Swords energy. You can't make sense of it. You're scared you're going to get hurt, or that somebody's lying to you, or they're presenting to you in a way that's not truthful. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Very interesting. So do you want to be single or not? Do you want to do this alone or not? That's what the Nine of Pentacles is asking you with the Ace of Cups and the Six of Wands here. Do you want the emotional attention? Because somebody is just dying to pour their emotional energy all over you. And I feel like the Nine of Pentacles is telling me that you're unsure at this time. Maybe you just don't have enough emotional confidence as to whether you just want to take a leap of faith into something or not. One more card. Ooh, that's why. There we go. So you might be a little bit nervous because you're dealing with an Empress. The Empress is never going to chase. So if this person is the one who's been silent, quiet, pulled back their energy, that's why. The Empress is never going to chase you, Libra. And this person also is Libra. This could be you. Maybe you're the person who is the Empress and you're not going to chase. And the other person, you're waiting for them to come to you. But I feel like somebody here, either way, is feeling a little bit intimidated by the stature or the status that the other person has. It feels like the Empress is, of course, somebody who has a lot of wisdom. They could be older. They could be someone who's more established, somebody who doesn't really need anything from you. And I think that that seems to be a little bit intimidating for you. We've got the Eight of Swords, and that's why you are here, trying to make a decision, going back and forth and back and forth. The King of Swords is here. Look, I feel like you'll come to a place of decision because the King of Wands has the last word. There's a bunch of butterflies in the air around the head of the king. The king has the sword down, so right now I don't think you're ready to make a decision, but I feel like you're worried that you'll make the wrong decision. The King of Swords is deciding it head over heart. I don't think you're going to decide with your emotions. I think you're going to decide logically, and for some of you, you're just going to close the door, let it go. You're not going to communicate. You're just going to let it go. For others of you, the World card means a shift. It also means milestone, completion. It also means achievement. So for some of you, the Two of Wands tells me instead of being stuck, you're going to wait just a little bit, try and get the perspective. And once you feel like you're ready, Justice card, once you feel like you're ready to go, once you get the balance, harmony, and equilibrium that you've been waiting for, boom, there it is. So I feel like you're on the slow path. I feel like something's moving really slow, but you're overthinking everything because this person has gone quiet. But I don't think it's for any reason other than that either you're the Empress or they are. So somebody here is not moving, not chasing, whether that's you or them. One of you is the Empress, feminine or masculine. Empress is Libra and Taurus. We have Virgo energy. We have Gemini, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sagittarius. And Capricorn energy, and Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, all of the fixed signs, which are very affected by this full moon. All right. The birthday babies. How are you, Scorpio? I hope you're well. Let's find out what's going on for you. Happy birthday to you. Let me know when your birthday is. I would love to say happy birthday to you. Thank you for those of you who have been offering up your birthday. And if you can find it in your heart to offer a Scorpio a happy birthday, please do that. Scorpio, you know you're my jam. The sun is in your sign. This is very interesting, Scorpio. You are my jam. You're my opposite sign. I'm a Taurus sun. And the sun is in your sign while the moon is in mine. So we are literally opposites, but together I feel like a light's going to go on about something here. There's going to be a lot of revelations that are coming your way. Tell me about Scorpio, the next 7 days, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the birthday babies. Tell me what's going on with Scorpio. Scorpio, we're starting with the 8 of Wands. Something is about to pick up speed for you. We've got the 10 of Wands. Okay. The reason something is picking up speed or getting a little, starting to move quicker here is because you've decided it's time to release something that was weighing me down. I've been carrying this around for a while. It could be financial debt or a concern about your finances, your home, your hearth, how you make your money, some of your material possessions. It could be debt. 10 of Wands is carrying a heavy financial burden, possibly. Although the King of Pentacles is usually pretty good with their pentacles. I mean, it could be that you're releasing some sort of financial debt, and maybe you weren't behind on a payment, but maybe you're finally making the last payment on something, because the King of Pentacles is one that is very stable in their energy, stable in their finances. We've got the 5 of Wands. So there's something here that I feel that you've been arguing with yourself about, and it's to whether or not to drop something that could be a financial debt or something that really means something to you. So this full moon in Taurus, which is the King of Pentacles, is asking you to keep what's of quality, King of Pentacles, and ditch the rest. Ditch the things that are draining you. So I feel like you're about to release the things that are draining you, but I think you're arguing with yourself. 5 of Wands is exactly, what is that? What is it that is draining me? I feel like you're about to... Charlie just said root through the cellar. Charlie is my guide, by the way. Root through the cellar, clean out a closet. It feels like, you know, when you're cleaning out something like a place that has a lot of boxes, and all of a sudden you start going through the boxes and you get stuck in all of the nostalgia of it. It feels like you're dropping that. Something that had you settled into one spot, one frame of mind. You're arguing yourself as to whether or not to let go of it. I think you will, because the 8 of Wands is here. Why is the 8 of Wands here? Got the Hierophant, double Taurus. Look, doubling down on the full moon here. It feels like you are deciding to do the right thing by changing your mind or moving forward. The Taurus digs their heels in, right? They can be a little bit stubborn, slow at making decisions, but so can you, because you're a fixed sign as well. And so it does feel like there is, with this Hierophant energy here, it feels like you do want to do the right thing, and that's why you're going to make the decision to move forward with the 8 of Wands and make a push towards something or take a shot at something. We've got the Magician energy here. It feels like creating an opportunity. Is that the Magician? Sorry, let me just take a closer look. Yep, it sure is. So we've got the Magician. So it feels like it's like you're creating stability or creating a stable way to move forward and take a shot at something here that you have been overthinking or arguing with yourself with. Like you've been arguing with yourself about something and whether or not I should leave it behind or drop it. The opportunity is here for you to still have your stability, for you to still stand strong in a structure, maybe a spiritual structure, even though you're creating momentum. We've got the Hanged Man. So there's the problem, right? I feel like you are sort of stuck in this place of perspective. And that's where the 5 of Wands comes in. Perspective is the Hanged Man energy, but it's also, what should I ditch? What is draining me? It feels like, first of all, we're not going to do this quickly. Taurus never would. Aries, Gemini, we're gonna think about all the details before we take action. It feels like somebody here is holding back from the 8 of Wands because I don't want to make the wrong decision. That's the reason it takes the fixed signs so long to make a decision. People will call them stubborn. I don't know why Taurus is the only one that's called stubborn, because all of the fixed signs are. But we just want to do it once, right? Like fixed sign to fixed sign, right? We just want to do it once. And so that's why we're hanging here, holding back, in a pause, trying to get a perspective of what do I really want to create with this momentum. We've got the 5 of Cups, we've got the Emperor, and we've got the 6 of Pentacles. I feel like what you want to create is stability and security. You want to be in charge of something, or be in charge of your life, or be in charge of the empire. And I feel like the reason you want to do that is because you want to be able to bring money, time, effort, and energy to people who really need it. To people who are trying to stoke their fire but are having a hard time. It feels like you want to put yourself, Scorpio, in a position where you have more than you need, so you can share reciprocally with people, 5 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, who are having a hard time financially. So I feel like there is something here that you want to invest in, but I feel like you're going to have to drop something, which is a big financial burden, in order to be able to invest in the empire. And I think that you could be someone who's a philanthropist. That's what this feels like. It feels like you're making a decision to maybe liquidate some businesses to go into philanthropy, because it feels like you know that you have been blessed and you've got more than you need. Or you're making this nonprofit or a business hoping that you'll make more so you can help people who are being breadcrumbed by the system. That's what it feels like here. We've got the Chariot, and I feel like you want the victory. It's going to take a lot of discipline. It's going to take a lot of financial discipline. It's going to take a lot of emotional discipline, but I think you're down for it because the Emperor energy is here. I feel like you've got control of it. If this is what you want to do, I feel like you're going to do it because, well, I've never met a Scorpio who said they were going to do something and it didn't end up happening, because Scorpio is a little bit stubborn that way and is always going to, do what they say. And say what they do, and that's why you can trust a healed Scorpio. But it feels like you're building. We've got the Hierophant, right? You're building structure. You're building corporation. You're building something, a strong structure, because you want to do the right thing and create opportunities for other people to be able to help themselves. But I feel like it's going to cost, or you're going to have to put a big investment in it, and you're going to have to drop something that is no longer viable financially, which means you might have to liquidate a business or liquidate something in your life, sell your house in order to be able to do this. It's a big, big financial step. What's the outcome, please, for Scorpio? We've got the Queen of Cups. Yeah, there's the one who's kind and compassionate and loving and empathetic, and somebody who has been there before. I've been in your position. I want to create an environment where I can help you now that I'm at the top position. Now that I'm in the Emperor's chair, I want to be able to create an opportunity to be able to help people in a compassionate, soft, kind way, an empathic way, because I feel you. I've been there before. We've got the Judgment card in the reverse. And we've got the Two of Swords. So it does feel like there is a decision to be made here. Now, I feel like people misjudge you, I'm going to say. With the Judgment card in the reverse, it feels like either you're not ready to make a decision or people misjudge your decision making. There are going to be people in your life here who are going to say, what do you mean you're selling that business? You're selling that business so you can go all in and you can help people who need it? Look, we are in a time where people need so much help. And I feel like you are the one who is, aside from Aquarius, is the one who is the humanist. You see the human condition, and you see it, you feel it, and it's deep, deep, deep within you, deep in your soul. And I feel like somebody here is trying to make a decision about whether this is the best thing to do at this time in my life. It feels like a really big decision, and there's going to be people around you who are going to be like, well, what are you doing? Why would you bother helping people who aren't helping themselves? And I don't think that you're doing it for any other reason then. There are people that you know that are down on their luck. Not everybody is, but a lot of people are. And I feel like that's who you are at your core, man. You're like, stop being an idiot. I'm going to help you, but get on your feet. I'm going to give you this, but help yourself. We've got the Eight of Swords. Yeah, it's a hard decision here. We've got the Eight of Cups, and we've got the Six of Wands in the reverse. You don't want the attention. You want to be in the back seat. You want to be at the back of the store. You don't really want attention for doing this, and you know it's going to draw attention. I feel like what you're trying to do with the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Swords is you're trying to detach from overthinking the situation, but I also feel like you would just rather not create a kerfuffle. You just want to be able to work in the background, and you want someone else to be the face of the thing. Detaching from the overthinking is what you need to do. We've got the Two of Wands. A decision is coming. You are going to take action here. We've got the Seven of Cups, but it's really overwhelmingly emotional for you. About taking a step forward like this is overwhelming for you. Maybe you haven't worked out all the details yet. We've got the Queen and the King of Wands facing each other. You could have someone in your life who is mirroring you and saying, this is not the best idea. Don't do this. But I think you're going to make the decision based on your own decision-making process. The Ace of Swords is here. When you have the aha moment, you're going to start building the foundation. Three of Pentacles is here. You're going to begin to build the foundation because I feel like you want to make something right. You want to restore humanity. You want to restore balance. It feels like something that you've been observing from a distant, Page of Swords, for a while, and now you're ready to step into it to help somebody with something. Could be one person, could be a group. All right, so we do have Aries energy. We have Leo. Sorry, these ones really blend in. They're hard to read. We've got Cancer and Pisces. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries energy. We've got Scorpio energy. We've got Pisces. Something's about to change quickly because we've got more than 1 5 here. You're going to be making this decision probably in the next 7 days. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. We've got Aries and Gemini energy. Virgo and Pisces, Taurus, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. All right, speaking of Sag, the Fire family, tell me what's going on with Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Happy full moon, friends. Happy full moon in Taurus. Today, let's find out what's going on for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus and Jupiter, tell me about Sag. We've got Judgment. Well, decision time on the table, friend. There's something here that's coming back. It won't leave you alone. I don't know if it's a person, a place, a thing, a situation. It feels like something here is coming back to you that you keep avoiding. When it shows up, you're like, nope, I'm not ready to make that decision. Feels like now might be the time. Yep, it sure is. Now is the time to make that decision because the world is here. There's no going back. I'm going to say there's no going back because those are fixed energies, right? Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. When the fixed energies make a decision, they make a decision once. It takes them a while, but there's no going back. They close the door and they move forward. I feel like there's a decision coming here for you, Sagittarius, that you need to make about closing an old chapter here and moving forward to a new one. I feel like you've been faced with this before and you've not wanted to make the decision because it's a hard one, because you know that once you make the decision, there's no going back. We've got the Knight of Cups. And we've got the Four of Pentacles. I feel like there's somebody here who has been holding back their romantic or emotional energy from you. And I feel like that instead of you waiting, and I never, ever encourage anybody to wait on anybody, I feel like you have been waiting for someone to come forward, invest, and build a foundation of some sort with you, an emotional foundation, a romantic foundation. I feel like you've been waiting for this, and it's just not happening. So I feel the situation keeps showing up. It keeps showing up. Maybe it's different bodies, maybe it's different people, but this is a situation. Understand whether it feels like if it's romantic, it's like this situation keeps coming around. Why do my relationships keep failing? Why does this keep happening the same way each time? And it's because you are failing to make a decision when the situation arises. So it feels like you're being given the opportunity or the option to invest differently in building some sort of a foundation for yourself by closing the door. Finally, when judgment shows up, when it says it's time to make the decision again, instead of pushing it away and waiting for it to come back when you're ready, it's time for you to make a decision. It's time for you to finally think about it, look at it, be honest and truthful with myself about it. It's time for me to finally address this so I don't have to deal with it showing up again. Tell me about the Judgment card. Could be dealing with a Virgo or a Pisces. We've got the Empress, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, and we've got the Three of Pentacles. Well, interesting, because the Three of Pentacles is right there. And so someone's trying to hold down their own foundation. I feel like this Empress energy could be your energy, right? You could be the Empress, or the Empress could be someone who is outside of you. Either way, I feel like somebody here wants to invest in a future of building a foundation with somebody. But I feel that somebody is someone who's been holding their emotional energy back from you. I feel you're ready. I feel you're ready to jump in, but I also feel like nothing's happening. It feels like nothing's going on here. I've got Four of Pentacles here, Four of Pentacles here with an Empress. It feels like you're not getting any communication. You're not getting anything from this person. I feel like you're attracting. You're like, I'm attracting a big opportunity to build a foundation, and it's not showing up, and I don't know why. I feel like you're supposed to make a different decision. You need to, with the Judgment card here, I feel like it's time to end this this situation, to just say, I got to be done with this. I got to be done with hoping this person will come back, or hoping that a relationship is going to transpire. I feel like the Empress energy is telling me that you need to realize or remember your worth, and that the if you're making any sort of information if you're making any sort of deposit, or you're making any sort of if you're moving forward in a new stable way, it needs to be a foundation that you're building because you're building it for you, not because you're waiting for someone to come join you in the build. We've got the Seven of Wands. We've got the Six of Swords. Yeah. And we've got the Three of Swords. Look, I feel like waiting is really breaking your heart. That's what it feels like here. I feel like somebody here has their walls up. I don't think you're getting through. I don't think you're going to, Sag. Somebody here has their walls up. It could be the Empress. You could be the Empress. But it feels like this keeps coming. The situation keeps happening over and over again. And you're trying to figure out, what do I do to switch things up? I think what you do is you invest in the self. Instead of investing in building something with someone else, building relationship, getting cooperation, collaboration, all the talking stage, all the things that you need to go through in order to build things, I think that you're wasting too much time doing that with people who are not at the Empress level, people who don't deserve the Empress. I feel like you're reaching down or dating down, I'm going to say, people who are not on your emotional level, not on your financial level, not on your intellectual level. So I want to say that there is somebody here that I think that you have your eye on, that you have emotions for. And I think now you're like, okay, well, instead of waiting for someone to keep coming back around, maybe it's just time for me to close the door and just say, that's enough. I don't care if you're holding back. Go ahead, put up your walls. I think I'm good. I think I'm on my way. It's going to be an initial heartbreak. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Initially, it's going to break your heart. It's going to be sad. But I feel like you will repair yourself as you always do. Because look, the Queen of Wands is the phoenix from the ashes. That's who the Queen of Wands is. The Queen of Wands is something who that everything that came to kill her made her stronger. And I say she because there's a woman on the deck, but feminine or masculine energy, because she has both, right? It feels like it's time for you to power through, or to make a big, bold move, to just leave something behind that's not working out for you. I think that your pattern, Sag, is that you keep waiting. And I think that the universe is trying to break you of that pattern by saying, look, you have the opportunity and the option to bring something to a complete and total halt. And that is waiting for knights. You're an Empress. You're waiting for knights. So I feel like it's time for you to make a different decision, because when you make a different decision, you'll have a different outcome. And I think you keep getting the same outcome. I think that you're stuck there. Tell me what the outcome is here, please, for Sag. We've got the Seven of Cups. What do I do? I'm not really sure. I know that there's a lot of opportunities out there, but I want this opportunity. We've got the Moon energy. I think what you don't see is that there are a lot of emotional opportunities out there for you. And we have the Five of Wands. But what if I don't want them, Elsie? Right. Five of Wands is indecision. Indecision is, do I want to move out into the future? Because I don't see that the future is any brighter than the present. The moon energy is things are not as they seem. I feel like you're uncomfortable with being without knowing what's going to happen in the future. I feel like the universe is trying to get you to step up into your Queen of Wands energy, to say it's time for you to push forward past the heartache. The Queen of Wands is resilient. It's not like this hasn't happened for you before. And I feel like it's time for you to move forward. Put up your boundaries and move forward here. Stand up for yourself. It's time for you to stop waiting. Stop giving your power over to somebody else and move forward into the future to see what's there. Tell me what's there. There you go. I'm just saying. Look, I feel like you're spending your time vying over small peanuts. When there's a lot of walnuts in that. I don't know why I do the nuts thing. The big dog is in the future, right? And that is your actual companion. You're vying over the attention of somebody who cannot make it to your level emotionally. And this is what's waiting in the future. So you need to push past the heartache and the heartbreak. I feel like you keep coming back round to the same situation because you won't make a different choice in order to change your future. I feel like your future is waiting for you, but the universe is also waiting for you to close a chapter and to stop vying over this, to stop going back into the loop. I think that the reason that you don't make the decision is because of the moon. It's unsure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's lots of opportunity in the future, but it's also confusing, and I'm not sure I really want to do that. It's indecision here. Tell me what's around the corner for Sag. We've got the Ten of Cups. We've got the Page of Cups. Look, there it is. Oh my gosh. Look, the absolute apex of happiness is going to shock you. It's going to be shocking and surprising that you find somebody who wants to deepen the connection quite quickly. Somebody, when the puzzle pieces fit, when the two people are on the same vibration, it just clicks, is what it feels like. This is somebody who I feel notices you. You notice them. When we get eye to eye, I know you're mine and you know I'm yours. And I think it's going to shock you that your happiness is about to show up. Look, it could be around the corner and maybe it's not. Maybe it's Sagittarius season, right? Maybe it is end of December into January or something. Yeah, but I think you want it right now. One more card. There we go. Two of Wands. It's your decision. It's your decision. But the universe is saying with the World card here, there is only one decision that is going to send you into the future. The other ones are going to send you back into the loop where this keeps coming back around and you feel stuck because every relationship you meet is in this Knight energy or in the Page energy, and you belong with an Emperor. And the universe is not going to trap you into a relationship unless you really need the lessons. The universe is not going to encourage you to go forward. Can you have this? Absolutely you can. You can chase it. You can flip the polarity, get out of your feminine leaning energy, and you could probably attract a Knight. But you're giving up the Emperor. You're just giving up the person who matches you. So I think either way you do get victory, but only one of these things is long term. The other one is going to breadcrumb you until it's done. And you might be stuck in a cycle of breadcrumbs. Got Cancer. We've got Aries energy. We've got Gemini. More Aries energy. We've got Leo, Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Libra, Taurus, Virgo, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and more Leo. All right. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Happy full moon, Capricorn. I hope you're well. Thank you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Thanks for showing up here. Happy full moon. Let's find out what's going on for Capricorn under this full moon. We've got the Five of Wands. Why is that? We've got the Ten of Swords. We've got the Ace of Cups. And we've got the Empress energy. Ooh, boy. So Capricorn, I feel like there's something going on here that you're fighting yourself with. I think you're fighting an ending. I think there's something going on here that is, it's become painfully aware that you could either renew this with the Ace of Cups or it can come to an end. I feel like you have a decision to make, but you're fighting yourself making the decision. I feel like you're probably the one in the Empress energy, and it feels like although you're in the Empress energy and you're the one with the stability, so it feels like you take care of yourself, you have your own money, it feels like you're emotionally stable, you're financially stable, you're a person who speaks for yourself. I feel like you're really on the struggle bus. You're struggling about making a decision that is about the heart space. I feel like there is a relationship. Maybe you're in that relationship, but it could be the Ace of Cups could be platonic or romantic. There's a relationship here that you keep renewing. I feel like you're the one that keeps dipping into the water and renewing the cup, and it is overflowing. But I feel like you're the one that brings all the goods, if you understand what I mean, right? The Empress is the one with the stability. I'm good without you, but are you good without me? It feels like you're the one that has the upper hand. You're the one that brings all the goods. You're the one that's stable regardless of what goes on. And therefore, the ball's in your court. I feel like you're really fighting yourself about what decision to make, because going into the Ten of Swords is a really painful place to be. I'm going to have to release this emotional energy. And although it's been frustrating and I don't really know what to do, it feels like you're hesitating making some sort of a decision here. Tell me about the Five of Wands, because I feel like the decision that you make is going to bring something that is of the heart space. It's going to bring it to an end. And I'm not sure that you're ready to face the end. You're going to be fine regardless of what happens because you're the Empress. Because the Queen of Wands is resilient, right? And she's part of the Empress energy. We've got the Two of Wands here. Yeah, I feel like you are arguing with yourself about how to get there. I need a plan. I need to make a decision and I need to take action, but I don't really know what to do. Do I just put my boundaries up? Do I stand up for myself? If I stand up for myself, am I ending this heart space energy? Tell me about the Two of Wands, Four of Swords, and the Death card. I feel like what you're trying to do is make a plan that's best for everybody, not necessarily best for you. It feels like that you have healed yourself to a place of transformation, and that would be the Empress energy. So I feel like you're a person who has done a lot of healing, a lot of work. I think we talked about that through last year, right? You've done a lot of work on yourself. You've done a lot of healing. And I think right now you've got yourself in a situation where you have to make a decision about whether you're dragging somebody along or whether you're going to be the one who makes the plan and executes the plan. But that might mean that you're no longer going to renew the Ace of Cups. It feels like something needs to change here. You're trying to make a really stable plan or trying to find a solution, right? Four of Swords is stability of the mind, but it's also, I'm healing. Trying to make the best and most healed plan. I think that ultimately and inevitably something comes to an end. So whether that's a cycle you had with this person or whether that's a relationship, whatever it is, it feels like that when you do take action, I think that's why you're holding back. I think that's why you're in indecision. Because you know that when you do take action, it's quite likely that something is going to come to an end here. Got the Sun in the reverse. We've got the Five of Pentacles. I don't know what decision to make. It's not going to make me happy. It's going to make me feel lonely. It's going to put me on the outside looking in, and I'm not sure that I can bear it. Page of Wands. Sun being in the reverse is the Moon for me. You can't make a decision because I feel that you already know what's going to go down. I feel like you know that when you make a decision, it's going to cause a wedge. It's going to cause lack. I'm going to be disconnected from somebody. And Yeah, we'll be back to stage 1, Page of Wands, where we're at a distance, communicating with each other in text, not really seeing each other. Tell me more. Got the Temperance card. I think you're going to wait, and I think you should, honestly. Capricorn, I think you should wait to make any sort of decision about moving forward into the future here. You don't need to make this decision right now. There's nothing pressing. You don't have to make a decision right now. I feel like you need to wait till the moment of alchemy shows up, till Temperance is here and you feel healed enough to do so. It feels like, we've got the water and fire here, right? Back and forth, waiting for the moment of Temperance, waiting for this moment of alchemy where I have balance between earth energy and water energy, my practicality and my emotions. So I feel like you don't have to make a decision right now. The sun is in the reverse, is telling me that you don't have an answer right now, and that's okay. You don't have to make that decision immediately, but it feels like you will make a decision. I feel like you're probably going to end up breaking up with somebody in text. That's what it feels like to me, because I feel like this person might be at a distance. Tell me what the outcome is. Outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Eight of Cups in the reverse. And the Three of Wands. So I think that you've tried to do this in the past, and I think that this person just keeps coming back, and it's a revolving door. It feels like it's a revolving door. They miss your stability. What they miss about you is that they miss that you ground them. You stabilize them. You take care of them. You dote on them. You're a person who I think spends money on them or takes care of them, in ways that no one else takes care of them. I think you're in love, right? The Ace of Cups is here. It feels like you're in love, but I feel like in the future, it tells me that you know that if you let this go, it's just coming back. It feels like you allow the door to be a door that just goes round and round. The Queen of Pentacles is here. It's your stability that keeps this person coming back. And I feel like even if you break up with them, that it just keeps everything on the roundabout. I think we're stuck on the roundabout here. And please understand that I think that this person loves you as well, but I also feel like they don't bring anything. I think they're a page, and I think you're the Empress. I don't think that they bring what you bring to the relationship, and I'm not even talking money. I'm talking like emotional support, right? That's the Queen, because we're talking queens and pages. I think that you bring all the emotional support, the financial support. You bring all the know-how, the independence, the fire. I think you're bringing everything, and I think that this person is offering you very little. We've got the Seven of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Four of Wands. The thing is I think you're thinking about moving this person in with you, but please understand that there are big, glaring fundamental differences between you and this other person, and you know it because the Seven of Cups is here. You've not settled on whether or not you're ever going to get stable energy from this person. All you know is that the Ace of Cups is here. This is a good opportunity to fall in love, but I feel like the Ten of Swords being here is looming. It feels like this is what you are overwhelmed about. Can I handle an ending? Because I feel like you're carrying your side, and I don't think anybody else is carrying anything else for you. This person has a lot of fire. They do keep pursuing you. I think you like the fire. I think you like that they keep pursuing you. And this person, I feel, has the potential. I feel like they have the potential to go from the Page to the King, but I also feel like you're falling in love with potential. You see the potential, but they are not a king. They are a page. In the future, for the foreseeable future, they are going to be a page until the Tower finally hits and they decide to stand up for themselves. So I feel like you're falling in love with potential. There is no guarantee that this is ever going to come to a place where this person will ever reach the Emperor energy. And I mean, Empresses and Kings, they work out. They can work out. But Empresses and Pages are never going to work out. That's when you end up being mommy or end up being daddy, right? Yeah. We've got the Chariot. Yeah, it's going to be a disciplinary thing here. I think that you need to discipline yourself. The World card is here to close a chapter here and do it in the most logical fashion. I think you're thinking about it. I don't know that you're going to end it, but the World card being here tells me that this is an accomplishment or a milestone in a thought process. So the Chariot is here. You're going to discipline your thoughts, discipline your mind, so you don't keep chasing your tail. Yeah. Wounded warriors here. I think somebody here is thinking of ending a relationship that is just not working out. This could be a friendship. This could be a romantic relationship, one that you're in already, and you're realizing now that you're close to it, you're realizing how very uneven the contributions are. We have Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Scorpio, Capricorn. We've got Leo, Taurus, Libra, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Scorpio energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, and Pisces. All right, Aquarius. Had an Aquarius in my home last night. Beautiful visit. An Aquarius friend. Tell me about Aquarius. What's coming up for Aquarius? Happy full moon, friends. Yeah, I'm in it with you, man. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, right? Fixed signs are taking it hard. As we always do, right? The universe hates us. Or is trying to build us. One of the two. Pissing me off either way, being a Taurus. Tell me about Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aquarius. In this full moon, we've got the Knight. The Knight of Wands is here. The Six of Swords. Charlie just said, I'm the hell out of there. That's what it feels like. Charlie's my guide, by the way. It feels like somebody here is wants to leave a place of chaos and instability to go to a place that is far more stable. Five of Wands is here. And we have the Five of Cups. Oh boy. All right. So something here is about to change quickly, but not before you get stuck in some sort of indecision because of you feel bad. You feel bad for leaving. This could be a job. This could be a relationship that you're currently in. We've got the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is going from the chaos to the calm. I really do feel that when you get out of there, you finally stop overthinking, or you get out of the chaos of the mind. But I feel like the hard part is the Five of Wands, that you're beating yourself up over something emotional. It feels like you feel that you are leaving someone devastated, or you're leaving someone and you don't want to be in regret over departing in this kind of way. It feels like something here is going to happen quickly because we've got a couple of fives here, and we've got the Knight of Wands who moves very quickly. You're about to take a risk, and just to say, I'm out. I've got to be done with this. It feels like it happens super quick. I just saw Charlie do this, snap of the finger. So I feel like it happens really quickly, in a moment's notice, but I feel like it comes with a feeling of calm for you, Aquarius. You know that you're doing the right thing. It's unfortunate, but the Five of Cups is this energy of, I know you're going to feel bad. I've been fighting myself about that, but I've got to go. We've got the Eight of Wands. You're definitely going. The Sun is here. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like you've been waiting for the right time to go. And I'm just going to say there is no right time to go. I'm going to say that the reason you don't want to go is because this person gives you a lot of attention in terms of passion. That you're very passionate about this person, but I don't think you're in love. There's a lot of passion here. They give you attention. They give you passionate attention. The Eight of Wands is here. I feel like what you know, intuitively you know, that if you do leave, that the sun shines. That the sun comes out, that you will be happy. It's a breakthrough energy about why have I waited this long to do this? Because I feel like once you get out onto the beach and start running, I'm looking at a thoroughbred running on the beach. Once you get out there and start running, it feels so great. Your legs feel great, your hips feel great. You're like, why didn't I do this sooner? I've been waiting here, working really hard on my happiness. But it feels like this is not happiness for you. No, it's not. Look at that. The Chariot and the Devil. It feels like somebody here has been in a codependent situation, and It feels like you've been running at a brick wall. You expect something to change, but you aren't doing anything different to change the situation. So although it's a place where you feel stuck or chained to, you're not really doing anything in order to fix it. And then the Chariot comes along and says, look, if you want the victory, you can have it. You're just going to have to bulldoze the devil. You're going to have to bulldoze this connection, or bulldoze the codependency, the fear of being alone. You're going to have to discipline your energy, your emotional energy, and bulldoze the devil here. We do have the moon energy. I think that the reason that you haven't done it before now is because of the moon energy. It does feel like you don't know what's coming in the future, and that's fearful for you. It's kind of scary. Up till now, possibly you've had a plan. Like maybe if you're in a relationship, we've had a pentacle plan, we've had a plan of money, we had a plan of growth. It feels like somebody here has decided that, I don't know, maybe this was just all a place of me trying to make it feel like it was good, but it doesn't feel good anymore. You're seeing something for what it is because the sun is out. What you're seeing is, I was here for passionate reasons. I was here because the passion felt good. There's nothing here that indicates that there is anything about emotions except emotions that are being hidden. Chariot is Cancer energy under the surface. The moon is Cancer Pisces in the dark under the surface. And I feel like you feel stuck there. I feel like you have emotions or feelings for someone here, but they're not showing them. Or maybe it's vice versa. We have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, something here is inevitably coming to an end. The cycle is ending, but listen, we've got minor arcana here. And with the minor arcana, you're making all the decisions, right? The major arcana is the devil and the moon and the Chariot. This is like things are going to move forward regardless of whether it's dark or not. Whether you decide to bulldoze the devil energy or not, something is about to come to an end. The inevitability of something being driven off into the ditch is very high here. But listen, the Ten of Swords is minor arcana, and even though we've come to the end of a cycle, which is really painful, a lot of people break up and get back together. That's the breakup. What's next? The Ace of Swords. We get back together. Do you know what I mean? So it feels like this is kind of like a bit of a revolving door. But I think that you are making a final decision, that your happiness is at stake, that you really want to be happy, you want to grow, you want to work hard, but I feel like you feel stuck in a place where you've been waiting and waiting and waiting for something to change, and the thing is not changing. So it's time to bring it to an end. But I think that you're scared to bring it to an end because you don't know what comes next. Like, what do I do then? Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the Death card, we've got the Three of Cups, and we've got the Page of Swords. So there's a definite end. Look, you can't sidestep the major arcana, right? So death is coming, the end of something, the transformation of something is coming, and how you react to it or respond to it is up to you. But it's inevitable. An end is coming. It's the end of the Three of Cups here. I think that maybe part of the reason why you don't want to go is because you don't want to lose the friendship group. You don't want to lose the social group. You don't want to cut yourself away from a group of people that you usually have social time with. This could be a spouse's friends. This could be maybe you're married or living with somebody and it's their family. It feels like you're going to have to let go of something that is kind of dear to your heart or makes you happy, or people that you see in times of celebration. So I feel like you're viewing that all from a distance. You're observing it all, trying to figure out what the best plan is, right? Somebody here is learning what is the best plan when it comes to all the things that we share, whether those things are money, emotions, or friendships. It feels like you know that the inevitability is that this thing is over and now you just need to find a way to go. I think that you would rather just go. We've got the Ten of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. It feels like we've accumulated a lot of stuff and things. Maybe the reason why you don't want to go is because you've been with this person for a while, long term, or this is a lot of accumulation of material wealth, and I'm going to have to detach from all of that and start over again. Page of Pentacles. And that's the reason why a lot of people stay in their relationships, because they don't want to lose their stuff and things. They're scared of starting over from the beginning. Ace of Wands. But it's calling to you. I feel like the excitement of a new beginning, or having the spark of beginning brand new, the adventure of it is what appeals to you. It's just that you're going to have to go through all this stuff in order to be able to get out of this relationship. And you're going to have to hurt someone. Someone is going to be left behind and is going to be sad. But I feel like you're ready to go. Like you're the thoroughbred behind the gate, waiting for the bell to ring so you can race. Like that's what it feels like here with the King of Wands. And I feel like you have enough wisdom to know that you've come to a place in your life where you just want to go get what you want. It feels like somebody's realizing, maybe for the first time or maybe the second time, that this is my life and I get to do what I want with this life. And regardless of how this other person feels about me, whether they're sad, whether they see it as an ending, regardless of, I'm telling you that if the moon is here and the reason you're not leaving is because you don't know what's in the future, this is what's in the future. You level up. You sure level up. You sure do. You become responsible for everything. You get your crap together. You begin to build your own empire, and it's all on pure adrenaline. I feel like it feels like you're just waiting to run the race. Somebody here is holding you back, and they're holding you back with emotions. You're just scared to hurt their feelings, and that's why you haven't cut the cord yet. But I think you also don't want to be alone. But look what happens when you are alone, right? Yeah. You step into your Emperor energy. You take control of everything. So we have Pisces energy. We have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Pisces, Capricorn, more Cancer energy, Taurus energy, Leo, Cancer, and Scorpio energy, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. All right, Pisces, let's find out what's going on for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Happy full moon to you, Pisces, my water family. My two fishes friends. Let's find out what's going on for you. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter on this full moon. On this beaver moon. Tell me what's going on for Pisces. Oh, Pisces, I just saw the Six of Swords in my head. I think you're moving on, my friend, from something that felt sort of chaotic. There it is. The Three of Swords is here. I feel like there's something here that you're leaving. You're departing here. Three of Swords. We've got the Three of Pentacles. You might be departing a community. You might be moving. You might be departing a group of people that you were collaborating with. It could be a workplace. It feels like there was a small foundation that was built here, and I think that you feel like you have to go. Tell me why. What's going on here with the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Swords? Five of Swords, because we don't agree. There are fundamental differences here. I think we've come to a place of we just aren't moving in the same direction. I feel like you have a path that you need to accomplish at any cost, Pisces. And I don't think that this group that you're with is on that path. The Judgment card is here. This is happening again. That's what I feel like is going on here, Pisces. You're like, it's happening again. I start to build a foundation. Then all of a sudden I realize we have fundamental differences. People are doing whatever they can at any cost without caring how I feel about it. And the Judgment card is here. This keeps happening over and over again. How do I get out of the loop? I feel like you need to turn around. You need to turn around and go the other way or look the other way. It's like you need to do a 180 here. Tell me more about the Three of Swords. Tell me more about the Three of Swords here. I feel like you're thinking about leaving a group of people or exiting something or heading for the door. It feels like the Eight of Swords is here and you've been overthinking it, or not really, like you've been paralyzed by your own thought process. You know that you've got to turn around and go the other way or make a decision in order to break this spell. It feels like it's something, this situation keeps replaying itself in groups of people, in relationships, in jobs. I get in, and when the bloom's off the rose, that's it. All of a sudden, the Five of Swords is here. Tell me about the Three of Swords, please. We've got the Page of Wands. Yeah, it's exciting at first, but it never really reaches past the excitement of the page. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. And we've got the Five of Pentacles. So I feel like this is the arc of what goes on here. I feel like you get in, you find a group of people that you agree with, that you build a foundation with. We're cooperating, we're collaborating, we're traveling together, we're in the same group, and everything feels fine. The Page of Wands is here. It's exciting. It's excitement. It's exploratory. I'm exploring new relationships, new friendships, new communities. But you understand that you're the one that brings the Queen of Pentacles energy here. You're the one that brings the stability. You bring the stability, you bring the creativity, you're the one that multiplies everything. And I feel like you quickly realize that the other people are not bringing what you're bringing. It feels like you end up showing up as the queen and they end up showing up as pages, which eventually makes everything fall into the Five of Pentacles, which is, I end up being on the outside looking in, because I feel like you dive right in head first, and you're the one who dotes and is kind and is giving, and at the very beginning it's exciting, but no one else is growing, because I feel like you show up with all the goods, the money, the time, the effort, the energy. You know, you show up with all of it, and then they get to sit on their laurels and wait for you to produce whatever it is that brings them stability, or what grounds them, or the kindness you bring, or the money, or the time, or the effort, or the energy. Tell me more about Pisces. We've got the Ace of Swords. Yeah, the Tower. And then we've got the Star. It looks like there is going to be a conversation that's going to shift everything. I feel like somebody's going to say something. It's going to be a sharp word, and it's going to bring clarity. And it's also going to bring a tower. It feels like everything shifts, and when the Tower shows up, the illusion of what you thought was going on here, as opposed to what's really going on here, is going to become so glaringly apparent that I feel you're going to have to move forward here. Tower is falling, and I feel it's because somebody's very sharp with their words, or says something sharp to you, or finally you gain clarity, or you have some sort of a moment of clarity or an aha moment. The Star is here, which is kind of beautiful because the Tower is here, and that's cards 16 and 17. They follow each other in the major arcana. So I feel like when the Tower does show up here, that you know how to heal yourself. I'm going to say you still are hopeful, even though someone has brought harsh words, sharp words, that has caused the Five of Pentacles. And it feels like, you know, it feels like you were right in there. I'm going to say that with the Queen of Pentacles energy, you were supplying something here, supplying time, energy, effort, money, an opportunity, whatever it was. You were the person who was supplying a lot of stuff to this group of people, and I feel like they take it for granted. The High Priestess is here. I think that you already knew this was going to happen. I think you felt it, because the Queen of Pentacles is here with the Five of Pentacles. And with the Page of Wands here, yep, everybody was excited. There's a lot of fun. Maybe there's a lot of socializing, drinking, fun. And it feels like when you get serious about the whole thing, that's when it all starts to fall apart and the sharp words show up. I think this is a pattern that keeps showing up, because when Judgment is here, it keeps coming back around. And something that you haven't learned yet is going to keep coming back round. The universe is trying to get you to sharpen your intuition. I feel like when this all falls apart, I feel like you back away slowly. You're probably not going to say much to the group about it. I feel like you're going to heal in silence. You're going to listen to your intuition. And as you look back on it, you're going to see all the steps that were leading toward the Tower. So I feel like something here is falling apart, And yeah, I think you're walking away because it's the only way to stop the cycle, the judgment. It's the only way to stop it from coming back is for you to do something different than you ever did, so you get a different outcome than you ever got. Tell me what the outcome is, please. The Nine of Cups is here. The Hierophant is here. Taurus energy. We are in a Taurus full moon. Taurus, double Taurus. We double down on the Taurus energy here. So I feel like, the thing is that you have inner happiness. I feel like that's why you are in this Queen of Pentacles energy. Your health is good. Your money's good. Your wealth, your whatever it is that's in the 3D for you, your job's going well. It feels like with the Nine of Cups that you are a happy person. So you're not only happy because you're around people, but you also have inner happiness, which is the Nine of Cups, which is you're already in your wish fulfillment energy. You were just hoping to share that with somebody. The Hierophant energy tells me that things I feel like you are the solid, grounded structure. But really, when it comes down to it, you are not going to let anyone get in your way of the path that you've created for yourself. That if people are not on the same page as you, then you've just got to keep moving. And I feel like you keep finding these groups of people who thrive on whatever it is that you bring to them, but they don't really bring a whole lot. I feel like this is a real obstacle for you. We've got that mountain in the fork or in the background there. It feels like this is an obstacle that you've been trying to get over for a while. It might be because you're too stubborn to see what's going on here. You could have a fixed sign energy. You don't have to. But look, it's not only the fixed signs that are stubborn. It feels like somebody here doesn't want to do it. Don't tell me what to do. I don't want to do it that way. No, it's fine. Don't do it that way. It's just going to keep coming back, though. You're going to keep having failed relationships, failed friendships, failed jobs, whatever it is, because you can't change the pattern. I think your intuition's trying to sharpen you to get you to see the tower for what it is. So I think you're supposed to try and heal the inner self in order to be able to make a different decision, which will then, if you do sharpen your intuition and you decide that you want to change the pattern, what happens from here? The Queen of Swords. So you have to start speaking up. You have to start telling people when they hurt you, why are you doing that? Why are you saying that to me? I don't understand. I brought everything that I could. I'm all the way in with you guys. I'm bringing all the time, effort, energy, and money. And I don't understand. Why are you treating me like that? It feels like the universe is saying you've got to be a little more forceful with your words. You need a plan, and you have to stop being in indecision. I feel like somebody here doesn't want to be alone. And I mean, nobody does. I mean, who wants to be alone, right? We all want to have friends, or we want to have a companion, or we want to have somebody in our life. We don't want to spend our whole life alone. But I feel like somebody here is wishy-washy with what they want. Somebody here is sort of going along to get along, not really making decisions, kind of stuck at the Two of Wands here. Two of Wands, when you're there, you're not really making a decision. You haven't chosen to take an action, and you are confused or holding back because Seven of Wands, you don't want people to slam down their boundaries on you. Tell me what's around the corner. We've got the Ace of Wands, we've got the Queen of Cups, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune. I think that the universe is saying, look, you got to start giving people the love, time, attention, and empathy that they give back to you. You got to start matching energy, Pisces. Because you are in the Queen of Cups energy, and people will just show up with a straw and suck you dry. Do you know what I mean? They'll take everything that you give them, and the Queen of Cups is always at risk of becoming emotionally depleted because of people who will disguise stealing your empathic, loving, kind, compassionate energy as excitement, Ace of Wands. The universe is saying, look, the Wheel of Fortune is telling you that this is the moment that you need to decide whether you're following destiny or not. That you are the Queen of Cups, and you can continue to hang out with people who deplete you, but that's totally up to you. But the Wheel of Fortune's moving forward and pulling you forward into the future, kicking and screaming. You're going to have to learn how to heal this in silence by yourself. You're going to have to learn how to kick ass just a little bit and be honest with people and say, no, you can't treat me that way. I think this is the obstacle, and you don't want to change it. Because the structure is built, this is who I am, don't tell me to change, Elsie. I'm not telling you to change, by the way. I'm not. I'm just saying, you can be in your Nine of Cups energy alone or with other people. You don't necessarily need to be with a group. Got the Lover's energy and the Seven of Pentacles. So I feel like you're waiting because possibly there is somebody within this group here that you have feelings for. That may be why you haven't moved forward or spoken your mind yet. Because there is somebody here that you choose. There's somebody here that you have eyes for. Feels like there's somebody within the group that you know, and you don't want to pull away because you have feelings for that person. I feel like it's inevitable that things change here because the moment of alchemy is coming where you realize that you've hit the brick wall, that you've put in so much time, effort, and energy, that you've worked so hard on trying to make things work, and when they don't, I think you're like, I'm out, I can't do this anymore. Gemini is just going to say it like it is, right? Ten of Cups is here. Yeah, you got to be happy. I feel like you will make this decision. I'm not telling you to make it. You don't have to make it. That could be full of crap, and don't ever take your advice from a crazy lady in the center of Canada, right? I'm just saying, I feel like what I see in the future is that you're probably going to end up dropping this whole thing. You're going to end up changing your mind. You're going to end up saying something. And I feel like it's all in an effort to stop the judgment from happening again, from this coming back around. Different people, different bodies, different time, different place. You keep hitting the same wall over and over. I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is actually here to break it all down for you, to move forward with destiny, to expand your life and show you how beautiful expansion can be. But I feel like the hard part for you is that you've already created a spark with somebody who's in this situation, in this group of people. And I think that's why you don't want to go. All right. I'm going to leave this right here. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. You guys take care of yourselves, and I'm out. Bye-bye.